Stand by. The BRN goes worldwide at 6 a.m. Eastern.
Attention, BRN affiliates. Showtime in 90 seconds. Showtime in 60 seconds. "45 seconds. "30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Local pending.
First, let me. If I was you, I'd be getting a hold of. See if we could get a hold of that guy. Find out his information.
Write his name down.
See if we can get a hold of him, and maybe when he gets out, do a Zoom deal with him.
Can we get him down here for a live show?
No,
we don't want that dick here.
No, we don't want to. We want to deal with him via Zoom.
You don't want a live performance from him?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Well, maybe for Bubba Palooza, huh? Have him and Brandon do a duet.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
I'm here. I'm present. Dr. Dan is here as well.
Present.
A little hot. Let's see here. I've been doing a bunch of stuff on the computer, being Johnny IT guy on the limited stuff that I handle. And I'm a little late getting signed into our. I like to be signed into, Rumble. I like to be signed into YouTube, X, Twitch, Facebook, locals. I like to be, have my little beady eyes, checking those out from time to time just to make sure we're all good there. I know that you have them all open as well, do you not?
Yes, sir.
And you have to juggle between all of them with all the contributions and things like that. So you're like a nervous wreck over there, are you not?
Yes, I am, especially when Brian gets here because he likes to make sure if I miss it, he sticks it to me.
Oh, so you're saying like as you're scrolling through Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, supers, bits, stars, just whatever forms of donation that we can suck dry out of the cult like Bubba Army. You're over there monitoring them, and then you have to watch. And Dan's probably pretty cool. Doesn't really try to shove it up your ass as much as Babyface is. If it goes 8 seconds too long, he's right there with his full schmarminess, ready to give you the shove up the is.
Yes, on the one platform he watches YouTube, and if it says his name, he jumps all over it.
Because he's a mark. Oh, are you saying he's a mark for himself?
Yes.
Who do you think's a bigger mark? Out of everybody everybody. I think we all, I don't think I have to even ask the question for in fear of hurting somebody that hears today's feelings.
I'm not the biggest mark for myself. I'd say it'll be way more relaxing than when Brian's here, Lummy.
Hold on, Dan. That's you proclaiming. How did you know that was what the question was going to be?
Because you implied it was going to hurt someone's feelings
all right,
today.
So, I mean, if we were all to be, if all of us were to vote, and everybody I don't give Macho Man and Rhett. Well, Lummy, like your little eye signal that you might. I know you might be looking at them. Sometimes you can turn your head and see inside the glass. Tell them I don't want to hear any editing bay blurt outs today. I want them both present for this question. I'd like this question answered by the other side, the gorillas on the other side. Okay.
Yes, sir. Strauss TV, $20.
There are little monkey grinders over there that keeps it on the air. You know what I'm saying?
They are.
Like they are behind the glass. Just like little gorillas. So Lummy,
Macho just gave me a two bicep pose.
the question is, and Seth, don't you think you can get out of it either, playing the fence, because I know you work both of them. I think you're on payroll for both companies. I think Diaco Law sends you a check, and I think Hunter Law sends you a check.
That's right. You need different revenues of income these days.
As
streams of income.
As more like having their back consultant on the air, like almost a on Bubba's show brand ambassador / goalie. You're there to, take any shots that might be presented to them, and then also defend them at all costs.
I'll throw myself in front of the puck.
Right. So, Lummy, the question is, out of all the guests, now you have to understand, it's just not Dan and Brian. It's Dan, Brian, Jay, Gene, Tuttle, Tara, Tom Bean. Hold on, Kevin Hazlett. I think that's. Have I missed anybody? I think that's it. I think. Let me end. Were you smart enough to write them down?
You say Tuttle?
I did say Tuttle.
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Did you write it down?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Well, then recite them back to me.
You got Dan, Brian, Jay.
Hold on, is it Bob Brian or is it Brian?
Brian.
Was that
I already have my vote.
Was that an autistic chick?
Yes, I already have my vote.
Oh, I understand.
I gave it up.
Hold on. We're going through them now.
Yes.
So give me everybody on the roster we're voting for.
Jay, Brian, Dan, Gene, Tara, Tuttle, Tom Bean.
And what category is this?
No, you missed one. You missed
Jay.
one. You missed one. Which goes to show you that you weren't writing it down because you think you're this big time wrestler, and we'll get into that later.
I got it written down.
We'll get into that later. Seth, I want you to turn to me today, and you're irritating, like telling on somebody type way, and say, Sponjo, don't forget to ask Lummy about his wrestling. I do not want to go today and have not been able to address that topic.
You got it.
Okay, remind me of it. Okay.
All right.
We got maybe you know. Do you know who the eighth one is?
I mean, I wrote them down. I don't know how.
You didn't write them down.
Okay, then what's that on my paper?
Kevin Hazlett.
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed that one.
You missed that one because
I was writing down the other names?
Was not writing down.
Then why are they on my paper?
Because you've had time to write them down since I went through them the first time, you idiot. We've even recited them 2 times. That's how you read.
I'm holding the paper up while I was reading it. There was no pen.
All right, just give me the 8 again and see if you can get it right, okay?
Jay, Brian, Dr. Dan, Gene, Tara, Tom Bean, Tuttle, Kevin.
Kevin who?
Hazlett.
There you go.
And what category is this now?
This is just, out of everybody on the air, who's the biggest mark for themselves? Now, Dan, you wait till you're called upon. Just don't blurt out your answer. And let me all of us are voting. Me, you, Dan. You do get a vote. Seth and the 2 gorillas behind the glass. Okay, Lummy?
Yes, sir.
Everybody has to vote. And the question is, out of all of our hosts, who's the biggest mark for themselves? Now, you may, the listening audience, Lummy, may have a different definition of what mark for themselves is than I do. I can give you mine, but I can give you maybe some loose loose net, like kind of a loose list of what a mark for himself would be within Lummy, the way we would use it on the show. This is how it would be interpreted. You just kind of like you think that you really, 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 really add to the show, and you think the show is not nearly as good without you. When you're not there, the show's not nearly as good. And you think that you could probably. You know what, Lummy? I think those are the only two parameters.
Yeah.
Because I think all of them know they probably couldn't host their own radio show. Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, I think if they think they're over, they think they can host their own radio show.
So that'd be the third parameter. So if you're a mark for yourself, let me go ahead and tell us the 3 parameters that the show has determined what mark for yourself means. Did you write these ones down?
No, I did not write these down. I was doing something else for the show.
But you didn't write anything?
No, I didn't write these down. I was actually doing something else for the show.
I was buddy.
Yes.
Friend.
It was defining mark.
Lummy, friend. Coworker.
Yes.
Employee of mine. But more importantly, friend. Lummy, are you slipping? Because I was going through 3 very important...
Does anyone else here know what the 3 were? Because I was doing something else for Bubba Army HQ. I'm sorry, Bubba. There was an emergency situation I was dealing with.
Now, see, did you, Lummy?
I couldn't... What, am I going to interrupt you? But no, so I was dealing with that. And also, a mark for yourself is you think you're more important than the show. Mm-hmm. You think... that if you're not on the show, that it's not as good, and you could host your own show.
See, so there...
But I was listening while I was doing this real quick, and my fingers and my arm was kind of numb, I couldn't really do it.
We got a numb arm now? Is that what we're going with?
Yes.
He's got nerve. There's nerve issues. It's real stuff.
Can I tell you
I couldn't write.
Can I tell you what was far more believable than the numb arm?
What?
Telling me that you were fixing something emergency on Bubba Army HQ. Did you see how fast I was like, oh, okay, no problem. You don't got to supersell it and ruin your good excuse with a numb arm chaser, okay?
Okay.
I bought you were doing something for HQ gimmick. I bought that, hook, line, and sinker. So, I'm
gonna have to step in here.
Don't double down on a numb arm Willie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's got nerve damage in his elbow, Bubba, and he's been trying to see doctors, and they won't see him because they don't take his insurance. Him and Big Red have the same nerve damage.
Well, you know why Lummy's got nerve damage, and remind me to bring this up later.
Okay.
Is that the son of a bitch thinks he can do flying elbows off the 3rd rope like Macho Man because he thinks he's a goddamn pro wrestler behind my back that I've not known about that I could probably help him tremendously with.
Oh goodness!
I'll tell you who's biggest mark for themselves. I'm going to really go off I think Lummy is.
Oh yeah, super mark. But I do have nerve damage. But it's like.
Let me write that down. Lummy
nerve damage.
Lummy nerve damage.
So do you really have nerve damage? On what elbow? You're right.
Yeah. Thank you for Dr. Dan though. He was able to get me into a doctor after. Let
me, if you were to put your right elbow up and have Dan karate chop it into your elbow, would that hurt?
Oh, I know exactly where to get him too.
I could go like this. Say, hey Seth, go ahead and just hit me in the elbow. Go ahead. I'm not you.
Okay.
And he could, and it's not going to hurt because your elbow, Dan will be able to tell us why, but your elbow might be the most baddest. Now, you can crack it and you can hurt it, but it takes a lot to hurt your elbow. It's very effective in being real tough.
It's a weapon.
Your elbow is not only a weapon, but it's also real tough. I mean, you're an elbow expert all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, Dan, the guy's in pain.
Am I not right, Dan? Your
Mark from Tarpon, $500 for Dr. Dan money.
No, Dr. Dan money. I was going to say Mark's a mark for you. Maybe he was trying to get you out of not be having so much heat.
Thank you, MDU Freeze.
Thank you,
that's
Matt.
Mark from Tarpon.
Mark from Tarpon. Mark from Tarp. Say it, love me, Mark from Tarp.
Mark from Tarp.
Home of the tropic,
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot.
But the Whalen brothers or whatever the hell they're. What's their name?
The Tirico brothers.
Tropics like it's hot.
Oh, you got it.
Tropics like it's hot.
I got a real IT. My engineer. This is my engineer. The new one I got. Not only does he look just like Macho Man, I'm gonna start booking him at Comic Cons, okay? As a macho man, and I'll Macho Man, we'll split it 80-20. 80% to you and 20 for me for the booking fee. But I'm going to get you to start going to autograph Comic Cons as a Macho Man. Can I start booking you out for parties for a Macho Man lookalike? They got Elvis lookalikes. Anybody that's super famous has a lookalike, right? Right? In Vegas, they got Elvis lookalikes that will marry. So you got to really have been a very popular person for somebody to want to be a lookalike, to pay you to be a lookalike. So Macho Man, I think you so dead on hit Macho Man that I might start booking you for Macho Man appearances.
You gonna have him do weddings?
I just want to let you know you two here are gathered here today. Oh, yeah. There'll be times where... Hold on, guys. I got to go change the record. Okay, now I'm back. There's going to be times when you don't like each other. You got real heat, dig it? And then there's going to be times where you think that he's the most beautiful man in the world and she's the most beautiful woman. And you guys make sweet love and make babies together and everything. But chances are that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, just like Miss Elizabeth left me, damn it! All right, so Lummy,
we're gonna go. Bob Dole his arm all day.
Yeah, Lummy,
fix that thing.
So Lummy, we got to get into this elbow issue. Is probably because you're throwing elbows.
I wish I did.
This new professional wrestling world that you think you have to be in. That I have to have fans send me excerpts of the Stoner and Loner podcast from yesterday that got into your big pro wrestling high spot that you did this weekend that I knew nothing about. Uh-oh. So, we got to kind of get into that a little bit later because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want you to get the fans against me or, there's going to be all these trolls and all these.
Are you going to redo a storyline, Bubba?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just going to ask him a few questions. Why is he doing all this why is he doing all this moonlighting, as Lummy, a personality on my show, and my show doesn't know anything about it? Are you big? Do you think you're bigger than the show?
He's over.
I'm just saying, we're gonna get into it. And Lummy, I don't want the fans to start blowing me a bunch of crap.
Oh, they probably will.
I'm trying to protect the brand.
They probably will.
I'm trying to I'm the old school dude that's trying to show the new school dude how to be a little bit more old school. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't.
No, not at all.
Okay. So anyway, back to the original question as to what's your vote with regards to who they think's the most over, using the three criteria of Lummy?
I think you're so important. Show sucks without you on it, and you could host your own show.
Okay, I'm going last. I'm sorry. I have the ability to do that. So, Lummy, it goes to Lummy. Will you keep score, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Just normal duties that you normally would do. I'm having to ask now.
No, you don't. I would have kept it.
I think you're getting slow moving CTE. All those high spots you're doing in this pro wrestling league.
Yes.
All these. Not only is it giving you elbow issues, but I also think it's giving you slow Alzheimer's.
Oh no!
See, I think you're getting. I think every time you work, you're smashing your head so hard that you're getting, you're losing. You're getting little mini concussions every time you work.
Bubba's a head and elbow doctor.
I think that you're in. I think you're in concussion protocol right now from this past weekend.
I probably am.
Yeah, Dan. How long can if a guy, you're a former NFL doctor, and diagnosed probably hundreds of concussions. What is the normal recuperation time of a person that's been concussed?
It's really variable. Some people it's just a couple days, and some people it's a couple months. In fact, remember our friend that got knocked down and shot the guy that was beating the girl?
Yes.
He's still having problems. It's almost a year later. He's still having problems.
Neurological problems, right?
Yes, neurological problems. Still having problems focusing, concentrating, headaches.
Not necessarily, I'm having bad dreams, psychological deals.
No,
we're talking about physical stuff.
Yes.
Wow. From just him getting knocked down
and hitting his head on the concrete. Yep, has a head injury. And it's been chronic.
And so, Lummy, I think you're getting these mini concussions. Each week that you're moonlighting as this wrestling guy that I know nothing about. What's next? You're gonna steal the strap and incorporate. You're gonna go carry my strap into the ring. I will absolutely lose. I will absolutely. I'm just gonna be honest with you, Lummy. I've never really lost my shiz with you. Maybe I did. Remember, I think I've only lost my shiz with you one time, and that was when you were doing the show with Trace and Colton. Listen to this monster lineup, Seth. Trace, Colton, and Lummy.
And Tuttle.
Mm. Actually, as bad as it was back then, it might be good now. Well, that's Trace.
Yeah.
I mean, Colton, Lummy, and Tuttle would be a good... Lummy, have we tried that combination yet?
Yeah, it was called the TLC show.
When did we do it? When's the last time we did a Tuttle, Colton, Lummy show?
2018.
Don't you think, Seth? I think we're ready for. I think we're ready
fans
for
are clamoring for a reunion show.
I think they're clamoring for a TLC.
All right, we'll get Lummy on
Tuttle,
Loner and Stoner.
Lummy. Yeah, you just rebrand Loner and Stoner with TLC reunion one week, okay?
Yeah.
That's all you do. Lummy, would you sit in on a Loner and Stoner one day?
Yeah, of course.
So work it into your schedule.
Okay.
Because you do a lot, Lummy. You really do. I mean, everything from taking care of the pond to making sure the goats have love to various landscaping duties to various, everything.
Being a husband and a father.
Well, that's secondary to the show.
Of course.
I mean, the show is your life.
Yes, it is.
I know Dan gets heat at home because he, puts the show way before anything, pretty much. So his wife hates me, even though listen, you know what? This is what I can't quite understand. Romina, you can hate me because Dan does the show, and that probably makes him irritable and a prick at home, and I'm sure that you guys suffer the brunt of it. But and so all that's bad. I can see where you can hate me. Of course, little Danny's it might just be Dan and Danny. It's going to be like a complete, Mason-Dixon line. The boys like Bubba, and the girls hate him. It's kind of where we're headed, I think, Danny.
Yeah, I think we're there.
So Danny said, Dr. Diaco said, we're not headed there, baby. We done past that.
Yeah, we're there.
But listen to this, Romina. This is my last little thing to you. Steven couldn't get him done. Jay couldn't get it done. Arlene couldn't get it done. Dr. God bless his soul, R.I.P., pimpest of ever, Dr. Daddy, better affectionately known as Daddy Joe, couldn't get it done. I'm the only one that had something that Dan wants so bad that he would give you boobs about. Because think about everything that Steven and Jay and Daddy Joe and Arlie, think about everything that they have over Dan, from being, their mother to their father to their brother to their partner. I mean, and that was not powerful enough to get you your boobs.
Nah, you got it over the goal line.
I got you your boobs. I just don't understand. Every time, look at them right now. You have the nicest boobs in all of whatever.
South of Gandy.
You got the nice. You got some top 10 Tampa boobs. Because Dan, when I know when you're putting boobs in your wife, you're finally like, listen, okay, I've gone like 12 years not having to do this because for my various reasons. But I'm good. I'm going to put them in her. So Dan, that you really are. Since you finally put them in her, you really probably did a good job on it. Like it's like, listen, I'm going to be the ones enjoying these things. I want to really make sure they're nice.
Oh yeah, they went really well. And I was just trying to keep a sister down. So
yeah, well, she's. But then here's the deal. That would be like, what, Seth, would be like a Mexican dude, and you paid this coyote. Right? And you kept paying all these coyotes, but they kept screwing you. They take you to the river, Seth, and you couldn't swim.
Oh God!
And so you're like,
and
man,
you keep doing that?
I just waste $3,000, and so you go find this one coyote, and he's like, you know what? This is me. Daddy Joe, he tried to get you across the border, he couldn't. Steven's trying to get you across the border, and you guys are just over there on the other side of the river because neither one of you can swim. So guess what? I come up on my jet ski, Romina, and I load you up on my jet ski for free, and I drive you to the other side of the river, and I say, you know what? There you go. You know what? And which you usually have to pay somebody like $5,000-6,000. Don't even worry about it, Romina. Go be free and get those boobies. I got those boobies, and like you don't even appreciate it.
I think we should start a business of jet skis across the Rio Grande, though. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
We'd be able to avoid Border Patrol and get people across safely.
So anyway, Romina, I love you. I love your children. I love your entire family. In fact, you know what, Romina? I'm going to move on, Dan, but I know that this makes you uncomfortable when I start speaking to her, individually. Then she can really get heat with you. Oh, Donnie, I heard what Bubba said today, and you just had to tell him. You just couldn't tell him to be quiet now, could you? No, you must have him continue to besmirch my great breasts.
She's not besmirching him. You're not besmirching him.
And I know that he got him for me, but you know what? That still cannot override my hate. It simply cannot. So anyway, I forget what I was going to say. I was going to do one more last Romina reference, but Romina, here's the deal. Oh yeah, this is what I was going to say. You're the only Diaco in the entire Diaco clan that doesn't like me. Jay likes me, and his wife, Candle, likes me. Stephen and Krista like me.
They love you.
Your husband loves me. Mm-hmm. Daddy Joe loved me. Arlene, for the limited amount of time that I've spent with Arlene, I think as much as I've been in your guys' life, I've kind of by proxy been in Arlene's life. I think Arlene likes me.
She does.
She'd pray for me if I was on my deathbed.
She prays for you every day, brother.
She'd be there. She'd be there holding my hand.
She would be, and she does pray for you all the time. She prays for you all the time.
Tell her it's a little.
She's on her list.
Could you blow a call under and say a little bit harder on Bubba's prayer deal?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I talked to her about your week.
So anyway, listen, like Romina, you're the odd man out. Like you're the only one that doesn't like me. Every one of them else, every other Diaco in your life likes me, even Candle, and she's stiff. That's the only one Dan's afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely afraid of her.
We're gonna go ahead and vote. Us as show hosts, full timers, if you will, out of those 8 people. What's your vote as to who feels they are the most over?
Brian,
okay. That's your vote, right?
Yes.
Dan, now over to your vote.
I don't like the punch down, Brian,
okay. Let's go to the monkeys on the other side of the glass. The Irish monkey. What do you think, Rhett?
We plead the fifth.
No, that's not it. Are you the spokesperson for the monkey cage?
Yeah.
All right, so you got with your other monkey, and you guys were able to communicate fifth?
Yeah, collectively we're staying out of it.
Okay.
I'm not qualified. I've not been here long enough.
All right, so Seth, it's just me and you, baby. It's just me and you.
I'm going to say babyface.
So guess what, Lummy?
Yes.
My vote doesn't count
because of the monkeys.
No, my vote doesn't count because it was 4 potential voters, and Dan, I don't have to vote. It'd be like if you're in the bottom of the ninth and you have to take
the plate. You already won.
Yeah, we already won.
Well, I was hoping that if the 2 monkeys back there would have voted, and then your vote, and then pushed it to chat.
You know what I think? We were talking about. Well, you were thinking I was going to lock it up with Brian, and then we throw it over to chat.
Yes, and see what chat thought.
Yeah, but you know how chat is.
I know they're going to go Dr. Dan all day. Go with them.
And then that brings down. You mean they're going to?
Oh, vote Brian.
Yeah, and then that Brian knows he's the most hated.
It wasn't the most hated. It was like, I think Brian comes in. I mean, money normally starts flowing right away as soon as he gets in here.
You know what? He does a great job. He really does. But it gets a little, I think his Bubba impersonations as every one of his high spots gets a little much. Because he's a very smart guy. Very smart guy.
Oh, he's one of the smartest guys I know. His memory is uncanny. He can remember everything.
And he's even better than you on sports. Like if we were to go to sports, like he's probably like Lummy, you and Seth would know. I would say Brian might be one of the most knowledgeable people we know, like on all sports. Like he knows a lot about hockey, a lot about baseball, a lot about football, a lot about college football. He knows a lot about UFC, MMA. He knows things that we don't really dabble in that much.
Yes, Chief Charlie 215, $20. Dr. Dan's the man.
So,
And he's pretty good at reciting, what was on SportsCenter last night.
Or somebody said take his Bubba impersonation and his Google away from him, and he's nothing.
He does Google everything.
Oh, I know, and he feels like and he pulls it off. He pulls it off as if it's off the head knowledge, but it's not. It's right there on the Goog.
Yeah, he's got fast fingers.
In fact, he might have been paying off Macho Man. Because remember Macho Man yesterday was completely working on that
Yeah, because he's so slow.
And so Brian may have given Macho Man like extra $150 to put a faster sound card in there or something so that he could get to the Goog a little faster. Dan doesn't care. Dan, do you use that? What do you use? How many computer monitors are in front of Dan? 3?
I got 2, and I have YouTube and Rumble up, and I don't Google anything.
Okay, and then Lummy, you got
I'm Google.
Lummy, you literally look like Nassau over there. You got how many? 6? 5?
Yeah, technically with the iPad 6.
6.
Yeah.
You got 6 screens.
Yes.
And do you have like everything pulled up along with what's on your screens?
I got Twitch, YouTube on one, your screen on the other, the recorder going. I also have Player 101 or PM system, the PM system. I have Rumble, YouTube, X, 3 Bubba Army HQs, my email.
Like Seth, this is like what's
Dropboxes.
This is all what's in his brain right now. Like this is what he's having to process
It's too
every
much.
second.
It's
and like you, Seth, I think you're a 3-screener over there, are you not? You're triple screened.
Yeah, one of them's your screen, and then I have 2 screens. So
I know, man. I think this has to be, Lummy. Out of all the radio jobs we've ever, where we have the most screens.
Yes,
man. We look like literally like we're a television production facility. Do we not?
Macho says they got 12 back there.
Is there really 12 screens back
That's
there?
what he said. Jeez.
Macho, are you lying, or are you just
No, dead serious. We got a lot going on back there. Keep this thing going.
I know you do, monks. My little monkeys.
I saw the control room at the Philly Stadium, and it has 30 screens up and 15 people monitoring everything. It's a production to do this, especially you're on so many different formats, Bubba. No one does this. No one simulcasts on 5 different platforms
and have respectable numbers on all of them.
Yes.
Everybody's just now. There's some personalities that are trying to do their show live on YouTube now, and they get 230, 300 viewers, and that's all they get. They'll get we get 1,500 on YouTube, Lummy, but we'll do another 400 or 500 extra than that on Rumble, and then X sometimes has 1,800. We got some. If we got some cool. If you add them all together, we got some pretty cool numbers.
We sure do.
So anyway,
Brian, $10.
It looks like Brian the babyface is who feels as if he's the most over. I don't know if I agree to that, but I'm gonna. That's what the vote. That's what the vote officially is. What if, Lummy, I tell Brian, listen, you gotta be funny with the little zingers and stuff, but you don't always have to be me, and it always doesn't have to be about me. Why can't you zip? It just gets tiring over here taking one Brian Nut Hut load over the face for another, just nonstop. I feel like I'm a bukkake guy.
Yeah, it's like you're getting prison raped every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
By a guy that can't rape me.
Right.
I'm getting verbally raped by a guy that physically can't beat me up.
That you should be raping him.
But I'm officially the boss. I'm his boss. Lummy, I'm he's got me Stockholmed.
He sure does, which is crazy.
It really is. It's bizarre, the tolerance you have. Chief Charlie, $20. Dr. Dan's the man.
Well, it's not the tolerance. I think it's the different feel of show. I'll take the brunt of his stupid Bubba impersonation jokes because most of them are funny. You know what, Lummy? I think I'm going to keep Brian's personality the way it is. I just got to have a conversation with him about one thing.
And that's being you?
No. It's just I'll just be honest with you. Like, there's just a couple of topics that I don't find funny about. Like, no matter how much you're trying to bust my balls, like I just don't want to talk about a few different topics. Like,
it's more than one thing, though, Bubba. It's like three things, right?
But it's like three things. It's like three things that I don't want to. I like that doesn't. If your joke or your stab at me it involves these three things or one of these three things, then just don't say it. Just let us find the natural high spot and we'll go into the commercials or we'll tease what's coming up next. But like, I appreciate how witty you are, how quick you are. You have a different perspective. But let me look at this new Bubba. Look how much I've grown. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's
barbaric Bubba just would have said, Brian's an asshole, and I'm going to yell at him really hard and tell him to shut up. Nope, I'm just going to go to Brian and say, Brian, I don't want you to change. Hopefully he's listening, Lummy, and I don't have to repeat myself. And if not, Lummy, just make me this air check. Let's email it to him.
Will do.
Seth, that's how we handle personnel problems, is we talk about it on the air, and if you didn't hear it, then we'll email it to you.
It's the number one place to work in Tampa Bay.
What an effed up way. Or maybe it's a brilliant way, right? I don't know. I mean, Dan, let's think about this, man. Let's say like major corporations, and they wanted to have like a ruling on one like an employee,
like a board meeting,
and they were talking about one employee, and so rather than have to meet with that employee after the board meeting and go through the notes and how they voted, you can say, here, just listen to the board meeting. We voted either yay or nay. Here, just listen to it. You'll figure it out.
Pippi Longstroker, $20.
So
the ultimate laziness.
So Brian, I'm just I'm going to privately give you three different topics that I just don't find that actually irritate me more than they're funny. They may be funny to you. Half of the funniness is probably because it irritates me.
Did Blitz and Anna bother you with their impressions? I feel like Anna would do it for a full-on segments.
No. Listen,
I'm just. I feel like
that's a topic I don't even want to talk about.
I feel like
it's not even. I don't want to compare.
That's one of the three.
I don't. Yeah, it is. Quite frankly, it is.
I feel like there's.
So I don't want to. It's not a competition as to how somebody used to be able to do something. I want to talk about how we feel now, how Spice Boy used to come back. That's not in play. So former employees and how I handled them or what they were allowed to say and do, that's not in play here. As
a listener and working here, I thought that people having an impression of you was almost protocol.
You can. Again, I didn't say his Bubba impersonations had to stop. I just said I got three topics I'd like for him to stay away from. That's it.
Is one of them having to do with a football player and a lawnmower?
Oh, Jesus. Well, at least Dr. Dan listened.
Yeah, exactly. No more is Favre going to get his skag gimmicks. That's one of them. I mean, hell, maybe we should just go through them on the air.
Okay.
I mean, right?
If you're going to send it to him and you don't want to talk to him about it, you might as well go through them so you don't have to have a second conversation.
Well, here's the thing, though, Seth. If I go through, I really don't care what people think. I really don't care what people think. Here they are. This should just go to show you what I should handle in private. I am so honest and transparent. I know you guys are going to call me a liar. Oh, yeah. But I really, literally am. These are going to be the 3 or 4 rules. And I very much am transparent and want you to know the inner workings of the show. I think that's maybe one of the dynamics that people like about the show, is that we just okay, let's just handle this on the air. And it might be uncomfortable for some people. Some people might get mad at me about it. Let me $50 for the new Bubba.
Thank you.
Make sure to go to BTLS411.com. Yes, please, guys. BTLS411.com. And that's the creative loafing. You vote for your favorite. I mean, everything from Latin Sons being the best barbers and best Latin Sons, actually, ladies and gentlemen, 3 nominations: best black-owned business, best barbershop, best podcast. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, they'd be like the Titanic and steal the show.
I mean, would you not be? I mean, Craig and Rio go from just regular ass barbers on the South Side to superstars in Tampa Bay, winning awards, I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Having their own T-shirt.
Seth's the idol maker.
Seth, that's why they call you Seth Money, because you really, really, I mean, listen, although it's my network and all this you've taken them under your wing and really, 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 did them right. Really, you've really, handled them. So they really should be very grateful for you, because you've done, who else is going to do that? Who else is going to, what other radio show is going to go into South St. Pete, find a barber shop? Like, actually, Seth went here like 10 years ago, and I don't know how he stumbled upon it. He was like, I'm going to go down to the South Side and just find a old school barber shop, just to see, how it is. Well, were you looking, when the first time you went to Latin Sons, were you looking for content, or were you just saying, hey, I just want to get my hair cut on the South Side?
We had sent my producer, Danielle, down to interview a baker down there about a Barack Obama cookie that he was making, and he wasn't there. And Craig saw Danielle, and then she went over to the barbershop and interviewed them.
Really? So it just happened accidentally?
Oh, and you know what? You know what all that's from? Craig being a go-getter. I'm sure Danielle probably wouldn't have, if she would have said, okay, Seth, hey, listen, I'm going to pack it up. We're going to come home. She didn't scan the strip and see that there was a barber shop there and that she should go over there and maybe record them for content. I'm sure that was in her mindset, because it wouldn't be anybody's mindset, really. And so if Craig hadn't been, hey, man, who you recording for? Who you with? Right? I'm sure he started asking some questions.
Sure.
Hey, man, why don't you come in here to the barbershop and interview me and Rio? Talk about Southside Barbershop. See if, was it 97X or 1015?
No, it's 97X. It was like 18 years ago.
See if 97X.
You've known him that long?
Even see if 97X would play for it. And so then you started going down there. That became your barber.
When was Obama president? In 08?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew him before that. So.
Wow.
Right then, yeah.
So after the Danielle interview, you start going down there, befriending them. That's where you get your hair cut. You become friends, boys. And then you come and work for here. And you're like, I got an idea for a podcast. Craig and Rio, they're dynamic. I go see it, once a month. They're dynamic. I love those guys. And boom, now they're up. They all, from there to now being nominated for 3, best of this area awards. And for a local business, that means, listen, if we win, if we don't win, I've won enough of them over the years, and we truly know what the best radio show is, who the best radio personalities are, who's the best mover and shaker. What category are you? What are you?
I am networker, best networker.
Best networker, best filmmaker, best plastic surgeon, best law firm, best lawyer. You guys know we are all that and more, and we don't need necessarily a local placard hanging from wherever denoting as such. But hey, listen, said placard would be pretty cool. I have a bunch of them. Be nice to add to my collection. And how much of a rib would it be? Is like, listen, we're not even real. God bless 98.3 over in Pinellas County, and God bless AM 820 and our flagship station in Tampa. And here's the thing: it really, really sucks, because since Bruce Midori, the owner of AM 820, doesn't buy the ratings, then they don't rate your radio station. So we have literally no idea how, like in Fort Walton Beach, we can tell you, we're number 1 men 25-54.
Awesome.
It's like, boom. Because John Cracciola he buys the ratings. Well, if you don't buy the ratings, they don't rate you. Which statistically, and Dan, you're a smart guy, but if let's say you have 61 radio stations in a market, right? Mm-hmm. But they're all broadcasting their signal in the market, all 61, mm-hmm. from AM 550 from where's the dial start? Like AM 550 or 540?
540, I think.
AM 540 to
1380 or something?
No,
or 15.
I don't know, wherever the hell.
How high does it go?
I don't know. There's like it goes real high, like 1600, 1480 maybe. I think 1480.
1480.
Yeah. So you got every mom and dick, every pop. I mean, you got 61, maybe 71 different signals in Tampa, Florida. They're all broadcasting. Every radio every radio station in Tampa, every one of them has to have at least one person that's listening to them, which is probably the owner or the program director. I mean, you have at least one or two people listening to every radio station that there is, period. But if you don't buy the ratings, then they don't rate you. Well, Dan, wouldn't that then be, for the people that do get the ratings, wouldn't their ratings be very flawed to try to represent what their percentage of the marketplace would be when you only half the people you don't even score?
Yes.
So wouldn't that make their statistics that they get
meaningless?
Very flawed?
Meaningless.
Meaning like if I got like a 10... But, 31 radio station, a 10 share or a 10-point rate, whatever the hell whatever. And, but 21 radio stations in the market don't get ratings. Well, then you really don't have a 10. You have a 10 amongst the people that buy the ratings, but you don't have a 10 in the market. Nobody can really tell you what the marketplace is doing because you don't keep score with everybody.
Which is why those ratings can be very misleading. It's just like the studies the FDA does. If you do a study, you could jack it up the way you want it to make the statistics look like you're the man or not the man. And so by only, rating 2/3 of the stations in a market, it is absolutely inaccurate.
So, Lummy, we don't know. I mean, we could really be killing it in Tampa. We could be, but we don't know.
No.
We don't know.
Unfortunately.
But boy, man, our digital presence kicks ass. I am so proud of all you guys that have worked so hard to kind of get to this plateau of, what are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, local 6. What are we? 6 visual platforms. The terrestrial morning show, this show, the 6 to 10 show, the main show. I mean, this is the Bubba the Love Sponge show. The Bubba the Love Sponge show is heard 6 to 10 across, I think, 3 or 4 terrestrial affiliates, but it's more importantly designed and curtailed for our 7 visual platforms. Plus, God, audibly, Dan, Lummy, what? iHeartRadio, iTunes. Are we on Apple Radio?
Yes.
Apple Radio, Bubba Army HQ. I mean, 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 different places that aggregate our audio, our just the show, but no visual aspect of it. I mean, it's hard telling. It's hard telling how many people we have that are actually all at one time listening. But I'm very, very thankful. Lummy, especially Rhett and Gary with YouTube. Rhett, I didn't have an opportunity to do the food review yesterday. I had a documentary meeting yesterday, a very important one. I had to reshoot a couple scenes, a couple of questions that they asked me, Lummy, because I'm not even going to tell you why.
Oh.
So, Lummy, I think I need to get into words because wasn't I going to come back with the 3 or 4 things that Brian needs to stay away from?
Yes.
Because I proclaimed to be so transparent.
Yes, you did.
Seth, what's your opinion on that? Should I address them or should I? What's your, having been an executive producer, been in the radio, know what potentially could be good radio, but what also could maybe destroy morale around here? What's your opinion on it?
I think it should be handled off the air, but now I think that you've said too much, and now the audience needs a payoff. So I just say go through with it.
So, in a very Seth-like fashion, you're going you're wishy-washy on both ways.
No, I'm not wishy-washy. I don't think it's.
You're going right on the middle.
I don't think that stuff should be handled on air. But we've already said too much. You've already set it up. So I don't think you can leave the listeners hanging. I think there's got to be a payoff. So either you go over one, or you go over all 3, or you call Brian. But that's where I'm thinking. So.
All right, so if I do go over all 4, can you have the air check ready that we can just send to him?
Will do. No
Perfect.
problem.
If
You want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past? Go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
They keep doing like they want to keep doing electrodes.
Like this for a while. That's where it hurts. It's cute.
Yeah, it's getting worse with my fingers. Huh? It's actually now all four. Like I'm good.
Well, he'll take care of you.
Yeah, it's one of those where it just seems like it keeps going and going.
Justin, a shirt is sent. You should be getting it any minute now.
What's up with the people were asking too earlier about the funny bone?
It's the same ulnar nerve. It's
Oh,
exposed
it
there.
is?
It's a weak spot. It's a vulnerability.
So that's kind of those.
Yeah. It's like your Achilles. This is like one of those little spots that you can get to that nerve. So what they do is they move it.
Really, they move it like this way.
Yeah, they shorten. They make it so it's got more room.
Oh, okay.
It's not getting squeezed by there's a little piece of fascia there that squeezes it, especially if you get big and muscular and develop forearms. Like guys that work a lot, with their hands, like construction guys, get it all the time.
That's what I figured it is.
It's by both, yeah, because it's his fascia so thickened from all the, wear and tear and using his hands so much. He's got such, such a hard worker. Hey, Wayne Galasso. Big Buck, good morning. Chief Charlie, what's up, buddy?
How much Reno? 57 months. Thank you, Jerry Head.
Disney Phil, good morning.
I didn't know. I didn't hear from you, so.
Mitch.
X Smiley 40, 2 months.
Camper Scott. Kirk. Justin Keeler. Damn it, man. What's up? Thank you.
You have to take a drug test if you run for mayor?
No.
Because I'm thinking Lauren Bobart smokes weed.
She can. Christopher Stevens. Thank you.
I mean, it's legal, I mean, where she is.
Todd Allen 66. Oh, thank you. Did you guys get something from Todd Allen?
Package?
Yeah.
Is it for you?
You said something. I guess I
I
helped him with
I
COVID.
remember Merch Crick saying something. I'll have to locate it.
Thank you, Todd Allen. And thank you, Sister Girl Tease.
What up, Don't Panic, it's organic.
Angry Blips.
What's up? Kenny Powers, Organic Gene, Chris Sherrill, XX Giz Aiming, Lenny, Mitch the Mushroom Motherfucker.
Thanks, Steven. Coco, appreciate it.
Big Buck.
Not Big Buck.
You guys can I get some thumbs? Can I get thumbed, please?
Oh, no.
Please give me some thumbins. Appreciate it. We're over here on YouTube with our nuts in our hands. Let's just go ahead and give me a thumbin'. Appreciate it. Let's get those thumbins up. Come on, I'm like your daily motivator.
What up, Grouper Lips, Longer, Haas?
Jay Bowler, what's up? Smash the button. Big Lunger. Hoss 83. Let's get it. I like to have 1,000 motherfuckers in this YouTube. So you YouTube people go out and maybe share it with
No, they'll come. Everybody's waking up.
Go promote it on your fucking X. Go promote our YouTube on your X.
What up, Lenny?
Go to your X and type in my favorite my favorite show, because we're not a morning, my favorite show is, and then a link to our YouTube channel. Who's the crick? The old Jen Holloway looking crick on it. Up. Who's that bit?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see her?
Yeah.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, all at the Bubba Army, now returns.
This is a question for Macho Man and or Lummy. By the way, the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, Friday, August 16th, 2024. Me, the phenomenally laser funny and radio veteran Seth Kushner in the studio with me, one of my new co-hosts. We haven't. One of these days we need to do the show closed.
Yes.
I think we still got some people. We need to add some people. We need to. Take out some people. I think we got to put.
Well, we've taken everyone out. That's
all right. So who do we have? We have what? Seth, Macho Man.
Macho Man's in there.
Macho Man's in there?
Yeah.
All right, so Seth.
That's the only one.
Seth's the only one.
Yes.
Isn't it funny, though, if we keep it going and I'm not in it?
No, bitch.
Okay. We've gone 8 months.
How about right now, just you do it right now? Like, right now, you just do it. And the guys will be able to pull the tape and put it in there. We just do it. Like we say, F it, Lummy. F it, let's do it live.
Let's do it live.
Because if I keep, again, in my full transparency, let's go ahead and cut liners, live on the air, too, as well. So be like, I don't know what Seth Kushner.
Yeah, I could probably freestyle something.
Soy boy / you're gonna have to put president of podcasting.
Oh, am I?
Well, we gotta cumulatively think of everything that you are to make you sound real fancy. Okay, that's what it is. It's real fancy lying. So you're going to be Seth Kushner, co-host, president of podcasting, social media consult. No, let's just leave it at.
This is yeah.
Just leave it at co-host and president of podcasting.
Okay.
That's it. Seth Kushner, co-host, president of podcasting.
Yes. Now?
Yeah, well, hold on. I think we probably need to make him feel more like it's a director / voiceover session. Don't you think we need to make it feel like that?
Well, let's not make me too nervous. Making it all official and everything. Oh God!
Hopefully, no spillage over there.
I heard all that jingling and jangling.
My megaphone was buried behind my hydraulic. No, what's it called? My hydrogenated. I got this. Somebody told me to start drinking hydrogenated water. And so I got this new. Well, I don't have to talk into the microphone now. Here, let me. I don't have to. I'm only using this for the Seth voiceover portion. But I saw a few articles, and then I kind of researched a little bit. And you buy. They say if you drink nothing but hydrogenated water, that it molecularly does something for your. It just makes you a little bit more healthier. It's better for you. Dan, do you believe that in any way, shape, or form? They have these glasses that you buy, and you hit the button, and it puts little hydrogen in here. May I give you a little better? Here we go, right here. It puts hydrogen bubbles in your water. Takes a minute for them to properly hydronate this little bit of water here, and then I drink my water out of this container, and it's hydrogenated. Do you know anything about hydrogenated water? Is this just a big? Does
it make it more alkaline? Does it change the pH of it?
Yeah, I think
so.
It does.
That does help. Alkaline water is better for you than acidic.
You know what, Lummy? I think Alpha Beta is alkaline water.
I believe so.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to do a big deal with them. Yeah, Aqua Beta. It might be. I think we're close to getting Mike to agree to make it to Aqua Beta Bubba Army Studio live from the Aqua Beta powered Bubba Army Studios. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show with me, F-Boy Seth Kushner. let me. So I don't know, Dan. You don't know about hydrogenated water, whether it could just be them blowing bubbles up in my water.
They literally are blowing bubbles right up your frame.
They give you a little blue thing, and it blows up some bubbles in there, and they're selling them for. Let me. I think I paid $49.95 for it, for my hydrogen bubbler. And you know what? Quite frankly, I feel as fat and out of shape as I ever have. And I've been drinking it for like 3 months now. So this thing doesn't do crap. Might as well drink. I might as well be drinking just straight Coca-Cola, 53 grams of sugar, please.
Some tap water.
So anyway, Seth Kushner voiceover session for the final close of the show. And take one, action.
Okay, so just do it. What do I start off by saying?
It'll be like.
Do I just go, hey, it's
Seth? Yeah,
okay.
Hey, it's Seth Kushner, co-host and president of all podcasting. F-boy, like whatever.
All right.
And if you cuss, I can dump it.
Okay.
And the boys will still have it. So, like, if you wanted to call yourself a F-boy. Because I think that we've described you kind of like as aren't you kind of the F-boy?
I think my name's changed.
Okay, thank you. You know what? This is you call yourself what you want, okay?
Okay.
I'm done. So I'm not done in a bad way. I'm done trying to direct you. You don't need directing. I'm just straight for the slate markings. Number 2, take 2. Seth Kushner describes his what he does here at the BRN, and action.
Seth Money is zesty co-host and president of podcasting.
That's it? That's how you want it?
What am I?
No, you say it's. Is it a rap? Is it a rap?
Do I need more accolades? I don't have any.
I'm just saying, if you want to say that's a rap, we'll wrap that bitch up.
Seth Kushner, co-host, president of podcasting, and I used to work next door at Bake More Pies, and now I'm back over here with Bubba.
No, I like the first one. Smoother, concise. Not too much shtick. Very informative. Let me go ahead and wrap that first one up.
Yeah,
okay?
we'll cut the first one. Yeah,
cut up the first one.
Wrap it. I sent you a picture too, Bubba, from a fan.
It's a wrap.
It's pretty good, actually.
Okay, hold on.
Chris did it.
This a fan sent a picture.
Yeah, he sent it to me.
All right, let me see here.
Pretty good, I thought.
There we go here. Oh, now why do I? Okay, hold on.
You're the captain.
Okay, you're right. I'm the captain.
The doctor in that leather.
Hold on, let me. By the way, we were thinking about if we were to do a group photo as the village people, how would it turn out? And we determined, Lummy, who was going to play what.
Yes.
And we determined I was going to be the captain, or I thought I was supposed to be the biker cop, I thought, but I like captain better because it kind of makes you in charge, right?
Yes, it does.
And then Lummy is my construction guy. He's behind me, and that looks good as hell. And then Dan, Dan is my leather boy.
Yes, he is.
And he that's a great leather boy. I would only say maybe take leather boy's hat. I guess we all got headwear.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
The hat's part of the costume
you're right.
too.
So I'm the captain.
Dan looks like the guy.
Lummy's construction worker. Dan's leather boy. Seth is the cowboy.
Yeah.
And then he
looks happy being
Seth,
behind Dan.
that's the happiest I've ever seen you look in my entire life.
I look like I just ripped off 3 rails off the Indian's head.
I did. You literally did 3 guardrails. You just did an 8-ball off the top of Dan's head.
You're grilling that.
Really? Why me? Look at you, man. And Macho Man, that's how you would be, Oh, I'm very uncomfortable being in here right now. You know what? I'm not very happy because Bubba's fat head's covering up my chest. You should be able to see my rock hard striations. And then Rhett, as a complete sailor, I love him. Let me, you know what? We need to make this we don't have to recreate this or even shoot this. Let's just make it this one. This is it.
That's it.
Yeah. Save it. That's our new group photo.
Perfect.
Watch it. You know how many affiliates we would finally get if we, this is your morning show right here, buddy. Right?
We would probably pick up a lot of it.
The only thing I think they really needed to do if whoever photoshopped this is I think they need to put my captain's hat on so it's a little bit closer to my eyebrows. Don't
Bring it
Dan?
down
Don't
a
you
little
think
bit.
like I don't? Captains,
It's a little high. It should be tilted down a little bit.
captains
Yes.
don't usually. Captains wear them kind of captain low, like kind of low.
Yeah, it's cooler that way.
Yeah. Nobody likes nobody wants to see half of my forehead with my captain's hat. So let me, if there's just somehow they could maybe
lower it down.
If they could just get it lowered down, I think that's the only change.
Just an inch.
Just an only change. Oh yeah, I'm happy with this. Let me perfect. Who did that?
His name is Chris.
Could you ask Chris to make that change?
Yes.
And tell Chris that we like it so much that Bubba's thinking about making it, like our official picture.
Will do. He did a good job, I thought.
Lummy, how's the app coming along?
It's coming along.
I was asking. I got sidetracked. I was going to ask you and Mach a few minutes ago, but I think we're getting really, really close to launching that.
Yes, we're going to be going into the testing stage, so everyone will be sending you guys a text message on how to download it and start testing it.
So everybody here, and even you, Dan.
Do you like beta testing?
Yes.
Cool.
Even you, Dan, I'd like for you to, if you could.
Sure.
Be like, are you in town this weekend?
Yes.
Okay. So if I could get like 30 minutes of your, like in the carriage house when you're locked in, paying attention, not being, not 8,000 things going on, but like, navigate through our new app.
Yes, definitely.
And maybe take some notes as to what you like, what you don't like, what you may have found a broken link on, like,
Through the iPhone, though, right? Do it as an app on the iPhone.
Yeah, through the iPhone.
Absolutely. Sure, I'd be happy to.
Through your phone, yes. That's how close we are.
Yes, we are.
That's exciting.
It's getting really close.
Does that mean that we're probably only a week or so away?
But once we test it, the longest it would probably be 10 days after.
All right.
We kind of.
Wow.
So you
2
would
weeks.
say like probably we could probably say maybe
I'd say
September 1.
Yeah.
Maybe September 1.
Yes.
And I really do think I wouldn't have invested all the money. I really do think that it's going to really take people watching or the convenience of people being able to find us. It's really going to help with that. Because right now, man, not just every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like my old timer dad. Like I think he does watch us on. I think he does potentially watch us on Facebook, Lummy, because that's where all the booms are. But do you know how much cooler it would be for us to just say, go to the app?
That's it.
And you can listen to the show's a continual loop, so you always catch the latest show. And then, Lummy, if you subscribe, I think if you just sign up, then you have there's some various things that you can do. But you have to sign up. You can go download the app, I think, from the App Store, Lummy, but you're going to have to go actually buy your subscription if you want to buy it. Now, listen, you can navigate through it for free. There's listening to the show live and the replay of the show on a continual loop. That's free. That costs you nothing. But, if you're going to navigate through archives and have downloading versus streaming capabilities, there's two different layers of subscriptionship. And I think it's going to make a big difference, and I'm really super excited about it.
And the app will have you stay signed in, which is a problem right now with the website. So,
right,
once you sign in, you are signed in.
All right, so we were talking about Babyface, and we earlier voted on who we feel thinks who's the biggest mark for themselves with regards to their importance on the show. Hell on me, I should have included me. I guess everybody probably would vote for me. But
you are the show, Bubba.
Know,
you are the.
It's amazing how much hate there is for me. Like your favorite character on the show wouldn't even be your favorite character on this show if there wasn't a show. So how do you like the guy? How do you hate the guy? It'd be almost like, well, I don't know. Am I the Roger Goodell of the Bubba Radio Network? No, I don't think so. I think I'm the Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. I think, I wear all three of those hats.
Yes.
Owner, general manager, star, quarterbacker.
And there was a lot of haters against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Oh, you know what? Between all three of them, think about how many people. Not everybody likes Tom Brady. Not everybody likes Bill Belichick. Not everybody likes Robert Kraft. There's a lot of people. Imagine they probably got a ton of trolls, right?
Oh, of course.
They have to.
Yeah.
But you know what? They won championships with a lot of different running backs and receivers.
Again, nobody trolls. I think I said this last week, Lummy. Nobody trolls somebody that's doing better. I mean, worse than them. Meaning, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't punch down.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, everybody who trolls us, bitch, you're just jealous, or you're a hater, or you're there for alternative reasons because you like some other show and you feel as if you're trying to be disruptive. Please, get out of here. So, we voted that Brian Matroni, he's here about, 3 out of 4 Thursdays a month?
Yeah, usually.
And funny, very funny. A lot of people... There are, as much people hate Brian, there's just as many people. Listen, I mean, I see the chatter. There's a lot of people who don't like Dan. There's a lot of people who don't like Dan.
There's a few.
No, there's a lot, Dan.
Be uninformed. But.
There's a lot. There's a lot that hate you. But Dan, there are more that like you.
Yes.
And with Babyface and Baby Dan, and so don't take it personal because I mean you probably have a better like to dislike ratio than I do. Seth's highly polarizing. A lot of people like Seth. A lot of people are dicks to Seth. A lot of people like me. Like, see, Seth, here's what's cool. You, me, Dan, like nobody hates Lummy. Everybody just absolutely loves Lummy. Lummy could come in.
I found a guy on Reddit that hates Lummy.
Oh, there's no way.
Yeah, there's a guy on Reddit that hates Lummy. I mean, that's what those people on Reddit
That's Ashley.
Are such a-holes. I mean, they literally like go after Lummy. Like, how can you go after Lummy?
Dr. Dan, what are you doing on Reddit?
Yeah, Dan. I did.
So I'm referring to a Reddit comment, so I had to get a Reddit account to understand what they were talking about.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. So, Dan, like, I would prefer you not to go there.
I don't like going there. It makes me feel dirty and evil.
Then don't go.
I don't like to. Don't go either.
But hold on. But you talking about them right now just validate, like they're jacking off right now. They're like, oh my God. Did you guys, let me, there's going to be a thread about, we are so in Dan's head that he even mentioned us. Oh my God, we're winning. We're killing them. They're watching this Reddit page every day and they're falling apart and Seth doesn't want to be there and Lummy's dumb and but we love him. Rat, he's lazy and all he does is get high and his dog pees. Macho Man, he's wiring stuff up half the time. Bubba's a fraud, a cuckster called cross-eyed. Hogan talking liar, piece of shiz. Kill him immediately.
Well, I mean, all the guys on Reddit can get together to a little cross-dressing party and vote for Kamala.
Dan.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Dan.
Won't say no word.
Don't mention that word.
Okay.
Don't feed them. Don't feed those assholes. Completely ignore them. And even if you're not ignoring them, play like you are. Dumbass.
Roger that.
So, Lummy, we were going to go through the 3 potentially.
Dr. Dan's scream is not Dr. Dan.
Dan's on Reddit and it's Dan Diaco sucks. And Dan will be like, I'm not on Reddit. I mean, well, this Dan Diaco sucks sounds. Well, why would I ever have a screen name like that? Because you're trying to throw us off, Dan, you son of a bitch. So Lummy, I was going to go through the 3, potentially 4 things. You know, I just gave Dan a rule. Dan, no more responding to any of that. Okay,
nothing.
Especially on air.
Okay.
Even Seth Kushner knows not to feed him. He goes there every day, but he doesn't feed him. Lummy, here are the. So Dan, you have one rule.
Yes.
Don't talk about that.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
I don't have a lot of rules with you.
No, you don't. And I try to listen. You know, I mean, sometimes you have to redirect me, and I try to, you know.
You and Brian, see, and I catch a lot of crap over. A lot of Dan fans say that I'm hard on you. But listen, I probably am harder on you because one, I have you here more frequently.
Right.
So you
hold me to a different standard.
Right. You're here more frequently. You have that much more opportunities to piss me off. And, you know what I'm saying?
Or help.
I mean, if you take 100 swings at the ball or 1,000 swings at the ball, you're gonna have more strikes on the 1,000.
Correct.
So Yeah, I mean, I don't have very many rules with you, and I do treat you differently because you are here more often, and you're my friend, and I think I can be a little more tougher on you because you are my friend. Like, I genuinely, whatever constructive criticism I would have about the show, like, that's not going to affect our friendship. Like, you know, like you're my friend.
Right,
my
thank
real,
you.
Like my real
it's true.
friend.
We're friends. We're friends for real.
And I would, like, if I had to give you some suggestions on things that I wanted to potentially, you know, have you be mindful while being a co-host on the show, you know, I wouldn't say it in an adversarial type way, and I'd try to be your friend about it, and we would be friends after too.
Yes, and I usually ask for permission instead of forgiveness, but I have to ask you for forgiveness right now.
Well, hold on. You're getting me completely distracted from the Brian 4.
Which is my goal. Not really.
You would think that the Brian having rules would be that you'd be floating Lummy $100 bill right now to keep to get this topic on the air immediately. Like, you know, Brian having real rules and being held accountable for various things seems like somebody that doesn't like Brian's, you know, a wet dream.
I really do like Brian. I mean, it's fun to tease him, but I do like Brian. He's a good sport, too. I mean, he's pretty cool if you tease him, too.
I love Brian.
You know,
and listen,
like
and I want to make sure I underscore that Dan nor Brian charge me to be here. And I think that both of them bring an added element to the show. I will tell them both this, and I hope this isn't taken the wrong way for you or Jay or Brian. The show when you guys are not here is a really good show too, and has a way different dynamic than when you are here.
Understood.
And I like that dynamic. I like the fact that, you know, we have like, you know, we potentially, the show in itself has kind of 3 different feels. You know, a feel when Dan's here, Dan and Jay, a feel when we do it just ourselves with no guest. Actually, 4 different feels. A feel when Brian's in here.
Yep.
And then a feel when we have our, you know, our rotator between Gene, Tara, Tom Bean, and Tuttle. And by the way, Seth, I hope you locked in Craig and Rio, because I did. I locked it in for, I think it's next Wednesday. Did you tell them?
I thought the 28th.
Okay, maybe you're right, buddy. Let me get my calendar here.
That is what we said.
Yeah, 28th.
Yeah.
28th.
Yeah.
Let me, next week is Tuttle. Next Wednesday is Tuttle.
Yep. And
then we got Craig and Rio. And then I got to start. I got Tom for the 25th. So I need to fill in. And Gene, probably Gene on the 18th. And you know what, Lummy? I'm not afraid to skip a few, because that then reverts back to the Lummy, Seth, Bubba, 2 gorillas in the glass dynamic. And I like that. I like that.
Well, it's nice you have the variety.
Right.
You know, it never gets stale that way. It's always changing up a little bit.
Right. So, here's the. Well, maybe we should I think maybe we should go into words, Lummy.
Yeah, let's go into words.
You want to hear? There's a reason though too. Do you want to hear why I want forgiveness?
Is it something that's so important that we have to spend 2 more minutes and not go into commercials?
Probably 1 more minute.
All right, so it's a very small thing.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. You're asking for forgiveness because you did what?
Well, first of all, I think that I want hydrogenated water too, because I looked it up and it actually does have amazing health benefits according to the NIH.
Hold on. So hold on. For real, like as a doctor.
I looked it up.
No, hold on. Like, Dan, please know that this is not an endorsement.
No.
Like, this is just somebody told me about this and I started doing that. So realistically, like, you went and looked it up and you really do want one.
There's like 50 things it helps with. Yes.
And you believe in it?
Well, I don't know. On first look, the NIH directed it, National Institute of Health, and they say there's multiple benefits.
And you recognize that organization?
Yeah, they're the real deal.
I'll order you one. I'll order you a hydrogenator.
Can I taste it first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know what? We'll do that.
No.
We'll do that during the breaks.
Okay, perfect.
Did you have to Google that?
I didn't Google it. I just, I did look it up, but not under Google. I just, Safari.
Dan, let me.
Yes.
Let me. Don't make Dan feel bad.
Exactly, dude.
I encourage all guests that as we're talking about things, you're, maybe a little bit ahead of me, looking into it and trying to find something that might add to the story. Absolutely.
I was just trying to stick
for
up for
instance, Lummy,
Babyface.
I'm gonna for instance, hold on.
That's the kind of stuff that annoys
You're
me.
trying to see. Hold on. You were trying to stick up for who?
Babyface, I was reading chat.
Why?
Chat-
Who spent 45 minutes helping you get your stupid freaking arm fixed yesterday, dumbass?
See,
See, that's the kind of
Lummy.
BS I can't stand.
Yeah, you know what, Lummy? For real.
What a dick.
Like Lummy, for real.
But as a person that helps Chad out, Chad said, "Listen, Lummy, if you're going to be real, you got to say you guys talked crap about Brian on Google, so I just had to make sure to call it out."
Brian is Google boy. So should everybody else. Everybody else should be Google boy. Brian's just a little more aggressive than others. But yes, I mean, like even Tom Bean, who loves Brian. Do you know what Tom Bean calls Brian?
Google boy.
Google boy. I mean, so that's outside the studio, people call him Google boy because it feels like he's just Googled. Like you literally are talking to him and he's on Google looking up what you're talking about, ready to get his rebuttal.
Yeah, he's like Alexa.
So, Lummy.
Yes, sir.
Dan really got heat with you
I
there.
know.
Did you see that?
Yes, he did.
He said-
Jesus.
he's like, God dang, you know what, Lummy? Here's the thing. You better hope that Lil Walker or Ashley or you or something don't cut your toe open in the grass or something and need a real quick stitch up because I think you just lost your medical hookup.
I'm canceling his appointment for his elbow.
I mean, Dan's jumped through a lot of. I mean, has he not jumped through a lot of hoops to try to help your elbow and you come stiff on him like that?
You're never gonna be able to wrestle again now, Lummy.
Yeah, Lummy. What if you got to call your big time federation that you're moonlighting behind my back on and say, listen, I can't drop that elbow from the third anymore because the guy that's fixing my elbow. So now I'm limited. I only got now that took one of my finishes away. I mean, what if they took Hogan's? What if they took Logan's leg drop away? It'd been nothing.
He was nothing, but I mean,
you're saying Hulk Hogan was nothing?
no, his finishing move.
No pancakes for you, bitch.
Now you're an expert on what
No, you even said it. His finishing move was horrible.
All right, let me listen. I think you owe Dan an apology.
I was gonna take him outside and watch him pee. Put him over.
Is that? So
I was gonna really put him over while he's peeing.
So hold on, I gotta go into words. But you're saying you already know how you're gonna get back in the good graces of Dan. Is that when you two go out and pee our fellow wall peers?
Yes. Let me his shakes are at the door. Go get them.
They're not my shakes. It's pancakes.
they're pancakes.
Lovely. It's Freaky Flapjack Friday. Woo! That's what I had to ask for forgiveness for.
It was on our 15 screens.
I got your pancakes, Bubba. Life's better with a happy pancake.
I can't.
Okay, well, everyone gets one except Lummy.
Looks like you're gonna have.
All right, let's go to the wall, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my. I want one so bad.
Just have one, man. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I'll get one. Go ahead and get me one.
All right, they're here.
And you are forgiven.
Thank you.
And Lummy,
I'm gonna run and go get the pancakes and make sure that you get yours first with forks and knives.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
I can have it for a.
Get Bubba the icing one.
Pancake Friday. But don't forget we're training today. Oh, do you want to come in and tell that shakedown story?
If you want me to.
Well, I mean, I think.
I gotta get my paperwork.
All right, so listen, the next break. Okay, so just be prepared to come in during the next break because I'm going to tease that Merch Creek had just this. The fucking death business is just an absolute shakedown, and there's just one cemetery that is just like this is an absolute shakedown. I'm going to bring in, I'm going to tease, and I'm going to bring you in to talk about it next. So you're probably looking at about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But get your paperwork and stuff.
Does anybody want fruit?
No, nobody wants that shit. Thank you, Merch Creek.
I don't want that shit.
Here you go, brother. I'm gonna give you enough time.
You gotta open it up and get a present. You gotta present it to me. That's not,
What the frick, man? Some long ass weird hair on me.
It's not leaving you. Here you go, sir.
Hold on here.
You sit it here.
Hold on, don't leave. I know I'm but we need to get somebody else to get this other one. I can't. I need a plate.
Oh, you need a plate? Okay.
Yeah.
You only want one?
What's that?
You only want one?
Oh yes, only one for me. Jesus Christ, how fucking fat do you think I am?
Oh boy.
So is that fine?
What up, Felix? What it do, 305? 305 MIA, yo. Felix Barajas.
Yeah, take one of those. No, what are you doing?
You need two.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We have some extras.
Thank you. What are you doing? No.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I'm gonna eat.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's a lot, yeah.
I'm eating out of this. It's easier for me to eat out of this.
Okay.
Thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Woo!
My eyes are getting watery from the
Dan,
cinnamon.
as much as I just really, I mean, God, Dan, I may have to come today. I might do some lipo today. You're getting me some.
We'll get some lipo then.
I thought you said you were going to have to suck them off.
He's gonna have to suck me
Jesus
off and give me some
Christ.
lipo.
Okay.
Dan's gonna have to suck me off and give me some lipo as fat as he's getting me.
Man.
I'm gonna get heat with you, Dan. On you're making me fatter, so you might have to give me some motherfucking lipo.
Okay.
What up,
That's fair.
LM? Bubba's my god. Thank you, Knight Rider.
And Dan, I'll order you, cause I got the.
I feel like they get worse.
I wanna
You guys
taste
can
it.
tell me they get better.
Oh yeah, come here real fast. Now, mind you, this is not cold. It's room temperature. It's a
Are we
little
supposed
more.
to drink it room temperature, or can you drink it cold?
You can drink it whatever. I like it cold, but you can taste.
It's not bad.
What up,
No, but you
Possum
can taste it,
Racing?
you can-
It's a little different.
But
It's something different.
Yes, you can taste the alkaline. And so all you do is
It's
literally.
not. It's a hydrogen. It has nothing to do with alkaline. It's the hydrogen itself.
Yeah. So what you do is, and you can hit it as many times as you want.
It just puts more hydrogen there.
It just in case any dissipated.
Right. Makes sense.
So I'll order you one, okay?
Sure. May get me to start drinking water because I fucking hate water.
You know what, Dan? If you're this fucking healthy and you don't drink water and you're this healthy, can you imagine how healthy you would be if you drink a gallon of water a day?
Well, I'm afraid if I start eating really healthy and drinking water and stuff like that, I'd get very sick and die. It'd be such a tremendous shock to my body.
Dan, that's so fucking stupid. Your body would just
Start eating
fucking...
healthy and exercising and shit. All of a sudden, I just drop
So
dead.
you're saying you're so superhuman that you have to eat bad to even fucking make the odds favorable.
To even it out. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome, Bubba Nation. Let me know what you think.
Man, what a dick.
We got a lot of shit up there.
It'd be a tremendous shock to my body.
But one of these days for content, you and I got to train together.
I'd love to.
Look, one of the because
We're
you're
gonna
not.
get that gold hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Wyatt.
I want to do that too.
Yeah.
I want to ride my bike with you too when it cools off.
In the fall.
What up,
Yeah.
Pats fan?
Yeah, like October, November.
Yes. But it's not 109 out with the sun.
How about that exit V-Low with James Wood?
I made a little video when I was in Silicon Valley.
Did you get it to him?
I gave it to Lummy.
I'm getting it up. I'll text it to you.
What it do, Cankles?
We almost have a G-ball on YouTube. I need 1,000 immediately.
Oh, we got 14 easy for you, Bubba Nation.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All at the Bubba Army now returns.
Bubba Love Sponge Show. So many things to talk about. Thank you, Dan, for ordering the, what are they, Metro Diner cinnamon swirl pancakes. Like literally some of the best. I mean, hold on. Yeah, there you go. I'm sorry. Like literally some of the best pancakes a person could ever consume.
You're welcome. They are good, though.
Are they not? Are they not like...
Makes every day a better day.
Dan, here's the deal. You order this stuff, and then like half the time I eat it, I feel like I might have to have you give me some lipo or something.
We'll do a lipo today.
Your presence on the show is making me fatter. And you know we can't do a lipo today. If you're going to lipo me, you're going to put me in the hospital. It's going to be an outpatient surgery, and you're just not going to, like, you're going to probably go crazy with it. And I'm not ready for that. Lipo,
you can do the True Sculpt.
Yeah, but lipo,
it's just the heat.
Lipo is real lipo.
No, I'm not talking about real lipo. We can just do that.
I'm talking about real.
Well, real lipo we can do in the office, but I really don't like doing it in the office.
No.
But we could do the True Sculpt on you, Bubba. You just come in. It's just like 6 hot pads melting fat. 24%.
But it really works.
Yeah.
For real.
It'll make it small, especially if there's like a couple little spots that are just driving you nuts.
That isn't one of the machines, though, you got to pay like a VIG for, is it?
They're almost all like that. It's okay. Who cares? It's not that big of a VIG.
But I do feel bad for you. Like when I come in and I get, these services that you don't charge me for, I feel like, I just feel like that makes all the women in the like it makes me feel like Jen hates me because I roll in. The way I roll in Diaco plastic surgery is probably unlike the way anybody rolls in. I don't even know that Steve and Jay roll in like that.
Jay doesn't, and Steven's very tiptoes in. But you're a little disruptive. But Bubba, if you get the True Sculpt, you'll talk about it, and so that's the whole point. I don't care. I don't care if it costs me thousands, dude.
Okay,
let's do it.
All right, let's start doing it. But more importantly, I don't want to talk about it on the air because we got some paperwork possibly to fill out. But your idea.
Oh, you remember?
Yes, of course.
Dude, you were like 7 shades to the wind.
Yeah. Dan called me at 6:30, Lummy.
No, I called you like at 4:30.
No, what time did we talk?
We didn't talk till 6:30, but I contacted you at 4:30. I didn't want you though.
He was donezo then.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Probably working.
I was working.
Oh,
doing something. I forget what
documentary stuff you said.
Yeah, I had to go to Mark Tate and do a bunch of stuff over there, so I didn't get home till about like 4 o'clock, Lummy.
Oh, really? Wow.
Which was pretty late for me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Driving my little smart car around, zipping around town. So I get Dan's message. I don't have I take a shower, get my pills. I gotta get my night pills ready. I gotta get my morning pills ready. Lummy, I usually like to try to pick out my shorts and my underwear and my T-shirt and my socks that I'm going to wear the next day, and I put that kind of I have that little settee at the end of my bed.
Yeah,
that little was it a lounge? It's like a
little chair like table thing, right?
Yeah, well, it's like a little. It's a. Was
it an armoire?
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
An armoire is huge.
Yeah, you could actually sleep on this damn thing, and it's real designer like. It's one of the last pieces of furniture that I have been able to retain when I had money. Let me remember when I had that yin and yang couch.
Yes, I do.
So I had this really badass couch back when I was a zillionaire. I can say back when I was a millionaire. Listen, I'm not telling the story in a braggadocious type way. I'm telling you, and I blew it all, and I'm a complete stupid idiot way. But Lummy, so as I'm moving out of my mansion, I'm trying to sell the furniture. It's all real expensive stuff, and so I have this woman come in to kind of appraise what I had. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And she comes in and she walks right in the front door and she goes, "Oh my God, you have and then whatever this is, that yin and yang couch that I had." She goes, "I cannot believe you. Let me see if it's authentic." And I'm like, I remember Heather paid like $12,500 for these two things.
For that couch?
Yeah. Well, hold on, let me wait. So Heather paid, I didn't know. I did know.
You didn't care at the time.
She wanted this decorative couch as soon as you walk into our big formal room. I mean, you could probably find video from Bubba Cribs of that couch. And the woman walked in and was like, "Oh my God, this is a certain." So she checked the authenticity because people, I guess, rip this design off a lot.
And it was a real one?
And she goes, "Can you help me turn it over?" and she unscrews one of the legs, and then you can kind of look inside, like maybe where the manufacturing tag for the couch is, and she looks at the manufacturer tag. She goes, "Oh my God, it is. It's an authentic." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So she paid me $8,000 for it because
for a used couch. That's great.
Yeah, well, because it's probably worth 20 if I would have shopped it around. But
How are couches worth money?
There's some of them are pieces of art or something.
Yep.
So, let me back when I had money. I think Heather bought the couches for like $7,500 or $10,000. I think she bought them for $10,000. So like they really kind of appraised in value, or went up a little bit.
Are couches good investments, Bubba?
No, hell no.
Sold it to JD Vance.
Did you have? Oh Jesus! Did you ever have sex on the couch, Bubba? The yin yang
on that?
Yeah.
What other yins and yangs are on that thing?
Yeah, I was just saying, man, I know you're buying the design of a yin and yang, but there's a lot of my yin and yang all over this thing.
Yin and yang on that couch for 3 years.
Really, I never did. It was so uncomfortable, and so I did not like to sit on it. We didn't even sit on it. It was so uncomfortable, but it looked unbelievable, and it was real expensive. And I don't know what I was talking about initially, Lummy, to talk about this, but I know I need to get into the Brian things. What was I talking about to get me even down that down?
Something with Dr. Dan's idea.
Oh, Dr. Dan, I love your idea, and I think if we quickly meet on it, that we could implement it for this Christmas.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, however many winners you want to have. Now let's be very vague, because what people are probably thinking what we're talking about, but we're really not talking about that.
Exactly.
Let's just keep it very, is it ambiguous? Is that what you would say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how many winners were you thinking for that contest? Maybe 5?
3 to 5, maybe up to 6, somewhere between 3 and 6.
It's
a lot of work.
I would say 4.
4 is a good number.
I would say 4. I mean, 4. And but then,
square. Okay.
But then, Dan, you could do one a week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so what I'm saying. So then here's the deal: the other people that don't win but entered the contest, you can offer like an unbelievable,
right. Big discount.
Right. And it'll be so easy to enter. You no longer, again, people are thinking we're talking about one thing, but we're really not. We're going to surprise you what we're talking about after we get it refined. But you don't have to come to the studio and get and wait in line to show us to pick. We can literally have an online form that you go to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you upload your pictures, give us your data. Where you live, give us your email, give us your information so we can contact you. Because if you're a winner, we have a page that we direct people to enter the contest. So literally, we're just getting people's data. And since you, Dan, are the person performing this procedure, you will be the person that picks the winners.
Correct. And I think my thought was,
it's your services. So at the end of the day, you're the one who picks. Like it's not like a random, like it's not like a random contest. It's
well, Bubba, I actually wanted to add both elements to that if we can continue to talk about it without giving away anything, because I figured there would be a good say we had 500 people enter.
Okay.
And say we went through those and really 200 were good candidates.
Okay.
We could do random amongst those 200.
So you're saying...
So what's you narrow it down?
Like, so you could say 200 are good candidates. And to just really, really make it a little bit more of not... To take your favoritism out of it.
Correct.
Meaning, you then take those 200 and put it... those prize wheels that we used to do?
Mm-hmm.
You input...
Give everyone a number.
No, you divide your candidates by 4 because you're going to get 4 winners.
Right.
Right. You divide your candidates by 4. So let's say 200 qualify. That's 50. And so you put 50 names on a wheel. That's group 1. You're going to have 4 group winners. And so in groups of 50. If we were to have 200 candidates and you put 50 names, you got a far better chance to win on 50 names. Is there a better chance 1 in 50 than 4 in 200, or is it the
roughly
same?
identical?
Okay, but 1 in 50 is more manageable for us.
Yes,
for us to input 50 names. We could actually have 4 of the content. We could actually, Dan,
4 days of drawing.
4 days of drawing.
Perfect.
There you go.
This is developing well.
And then, for those that didn't make it, Dr. Dan's office will be in touch with you saying, hey, we know that you entered into the contest, but if you'd like to, to get this done to yourself, it's Dan's offering, a 25 or 30% off, 40, whatever, some astronomical deal.
Right.
So
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too. We just gotta,
fine tune it,
cross
polish
our
it
team.
up.
Hey, you gotta probably have Jay draw up some type of document.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get on that, okay?
I sent you Dr. Dan's YouTube video he taped when he was over in California.
Now, Dan, did you tape any of you doing you were out there training, weren't you?
Yes, I was training.
You were doing medical training for this new hair machine that you're getting, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this kind of looks like you might be from the training center.
Yes, I'm in Silicon Valley.
They didn't. Usually a guy with a live camera, Silicon Valley, kind of.
They said I was allowed to.
Hey, you're looking pretty rugged with your
you
facial hair.
Yeah,
look at
shaved
that.
for about a week.
Were you the most rugged-looking guy doing it?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, I've been part of a think tank talking about hair restoration. And by the way, now I offer hair restoration with the latest techniques to restore your hair and regain your confidence and happiness. Call me, 813-876-3611, and start your hair journey with me. Thank you.
Start your hair journey.
This is Dr. Dan Diacono Esquire coming to you from Silicon Valley.
Now,
some of those machines.
Now, Dan, probably the only thing I wish you would have done. Well, they probably didn't want you recording their machine for intellectual property reasons.
Well, you can see there's nothing proprietary there.
I've been part of a think tank.
Yeah, there's nothing there that anybody could figure out.
There was another room where I wasn't allowed to video.
Oh, okay.
There was another room.
Now,
that's the assembly room.
Did you go and do this? And are you good at it now?
Yes, I didn't have it done on me, but yes, I performed it, and I learned about it. And we talked about the what's coming down the line.
But isn't part of doing it is they make you do it, like you perform
exactly.
You actually perform the procedure.
Yes.
And are you pretty good at it?
Mm-hmm. The techs do a lot of it too. A lot of it's really the art of it is really planning it. It's all about planning it, because if you don't plan it right, it doesn't go right, and then it's a big problem. So
we're almost over 1,000 on YouTube.
Yeah, give a thumbs up too.
It's all about the planning.
Give me a thumbs up. So the doctor, you go in. Probably, I'm assuming, because it seems like plastic surgery love purple markers. For some reason, like Dan, when you were going through plastic surgery center school, did they always say, man, you guys got to use purple? Because it seems like no matter what plastic surgeon procedure I've ever either seen done, or even see on the movies or on YouTube, is that plastic surgeons like purple.
Well, the markers they give you in surgery are all purple. And I don't know why it started off that way. I like the black ones.
Why purple?
I don't know. Maybe because it's very, very visible and you can see it through hair.
They started off with highlighters, I read. They just didn't go well from there.
Well, the Sharpies don't last. The Sharpies come off because, when they prep you, there's alcohol in it, and it takes out all the ink.
So do the purple markers that they use in surgery, are they not the Sharpie brand that is like a certain medical brand? Like, is it made specifically to mark on a body?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, and like I said, because no one's got purple hair, so you can mark the scalp and things like that and still see it.
So I'm thinking that you come in, the way the procedure works at Diaco Plastic Surgery Center USA is that they come in, obviously a guy. I mean, maybe there are some women that are losing their hair.
There's a ton of women losing their hair, and this is something that people don't realize. Women out there.
Hold on, women can do this too?
Oh,
this isn't just made for me and Lummy's bald spot?
And the market for women is almost as large as the market for men. Women lose their hair, and they're afraid to talk about it.
They
They're
get that, a
ashamed
lot of
of it.
women get that bald spot like just
Right
like
down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Right down the center. And
I had a
there's
guy
whole
work. I had a guy work for me. His wife had very prominent one.
And so you can take care of a woman by you have to shave the donor site in the back, but they can cover that with long hair, and then you don't have to shave the front where you put
Now,
the hair.
Seth wanted to know. I'm just asking for a friend, okay? Seth, I know you're embarrassed to ask, so I did. Okay, so Seth wants to know this one thing. He's interested in maybe doing it, Dan, but he wants to know if you can take the hair off his back instead of and use that as the donor hair.
Yeah, they'll be long
Seth,
and kinky.
Seth, didn't you ask that? If I can take the hair off my back, I'm in.
I don't remember. I don't want to take credit for such a good idea, Bubba. We all contribute around here.
No,
but
that was you're the only one that's got the thick enough back hair to be able to, even have it as hair.
I'm not even sure if it's thick enough to be honest. It's not as thick as like the back of my head or my neck or anything.
I know, but there's a lot of it.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of it. I'm sure Dan they haven't taught him the art of taking back hair yet, but I'm sure he'll be an expert in it soon.
Well, not only that, but back hair might not be the same type of hair that your head hair is, and so
it's not that different.
Really?
Yeah, it's not that different. I mean, it doesn't keep growing as much, but it's not that different. It's a terminal hair. It's
Dan,
not a vellus hair.
Could you get with this company and said, hey, I wonder if they've ever considered harvesting the hair from from another part of the body except the head, like pubes. If a guy could grow out his pubes, I mean, think about. But then you know what?
No one's sewing little short and curlies on your head.
Then your hair would become like your hair on your head grows different than your pubes. So you'd have like half a pube hair.
We're not trying to be MJ out here.
Yeah, I mean, you look just like MJ Kelly. Because it looked like MJ Kelly's body messed up and put his pubic hair on his head.
His body messed up more than one way.
And he's got just completely long, regular straight hair in his pubes.
Oh God!
I can only imagine what that little midget,
looks like an Afghan dog.
Oh my God!
You don't think he's shaven down there?
Oh, I think, and he's gotten fat too. In case anybody hasn't seen him lately, he's gotten fat. I'd love to fight him. Oh,
MJ?
Yeah, I'd love to fight him.
Okay. Oh yeah, let's work on it.
Anyway,
tournament.
So Dan, is it now like so? You've been trained. You got the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you open? Is the open for business sign on?
Ding ding. Yes, I'm starting next week.
So you're like a Krispy Kreme that has its hot and fresh sign on.
Yep, the light's blinking.
So starting Monday. Now, did you get your candidates for? Because you were gonna. There was a couple.
Yes.
You do? Okay.
That worked out perfectly. Thank you for everyone. And those that responded and I'm not using, I'll keep you in mind for future.
Right. So, Dan, so great. Now, Seth, you were one of the very first people to get this sort of deal. Was it the same type of machine when you were doing your promotion for Cox?
I don't, again, I don't remember a machine. I feel like I don't know if they did it
by hand?
Yeah. I just know it was a very, very long process.
Dan, prior to doing it with a machine like you got, did they used to do it by hand?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that they used to do it. They used to take a strip out of the back. First of all, back in the old days, they would literally take like hole punchers and put plugs of hole punchers like in your head, and it was very obvious. You looked like an old school doll, and it was horrible. The other thing was really not understanding what you're trying to accomplish and trying to make it so that you don't look weird later. Like the last thing you want to do is put like a little Gilligan's Island in the back of someone's crown that becomes the only
thing that grows.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, Seth, the only thing that's growing is what you got transplanted, and everything else is thinning out, and you got a big Gilligan's Island right in the middle of your gimmick right there.
Yeah. So there's certain
and
things
it's strong
to avoid.
as hell too, man. It won't die for nothing.
Oh no, it won't die. It won't die. If it's the right hair, those hairs stay. And so
so now do you harvest it like in the back of their, like, do you go to a guy's or a girl's, do you go to a person's like most dense populated natural hair growing on the head area and get it from there?
Well, if you know, like even the people that are really, really, really bald still have like 3 inches by about 6 inches of hair around the back. And that hair is really the best hair that you can ever have,
and it
because
grows back.
it comes back. But when you harvest, you harvest literally. They call it a follicular unit, and a follicular.
What's it called?
Follicular unit.
There you go. So sorry. Thank you. Want to get a clarification? Sorry, Dan.
That's awesome. So these follicular units have between usually 1 or 2 hairs. Some of them have 3 or 4, but most of them are 1 or 2 hairs. But it's a hair, and it's the sebaceous gland, and it's a little piece of muscle, your erecti pili muscle.
Your what, Lummy?
Pellicle muscle?
Your recular pellicular.
Rector pellicle.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm a doctor.
Dan, if a person, Bubba Army, wanted to inquire about your new hair restoration, again, I think specializing like in the male pattern baldness of the middle.
That's where it works the best. Like,
and then the power alleys on the side, kind of. That's kind of where it works the best, right?
The front line and the temples. But also, you could do the crown. It's just that you got to do the crown.
What's the crown?
The crown's the top, the Gilligan's Island potential.
Oh, okay. But like me, my problem area is kind of probably the male pattern or baldness in the middle.
In the front, you have, it's along the top, your hairline's gone back a little bit, and you got the deep temples. Yeah, I'm starting to get that.
The power alleys.
Yeah, the power alleys.
Me. So say it. The power. So you'd have to fix the middle, where the yarmulke goes, and then the power alleys. That's what you'd fix for me.
But the power alleys are more important than the yarmulke.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. So that's the problem. In the old days, you were worried about the yarmulke, and then if you spent too much time on the yarmulke, you can end up with, like I said, Gilligan's Island.
Right.
And so the important thing is,
you know what, Dan? The next time they teach the course, you should say, "I got some new terms for you." Okay. And back in the day, it seems like we were more worried about the power alleys, which are right here, and we were going back and doing a yarmulke gimmick, and so but then the yarmulke gimmick gave you a Gilligan's Island effects once the power alleys dissipated.
Exactly. And so it's really understanding, how hair is lost and how to replace it, and also the way to make a hair more valuable by making it in the right place, by putting it at the right angle, and also graft survival. If you have 2,000 grafts and only 1,200 survive, it didn't do you any good. Plus
what's the success rate on a root survival with your machine?
90 plus.
Oh, really?
%, yeah.
So that's where this new machine technology, Seth did it, 10 years ago, 8 years ago?
I think like 5 or 6.
And it was by hand. Now it's done with a machine and a technician, right, Dan?
Yeah, a couple technicians and me. And the other thing is, once the grafts are harvested, they have to be kept moistened. Each graft is put under a microscope and inspected and trimmed. And then
for real?
Yeah. And
wow.
Then the recipient sites are made with a machine.
Now, typically, how much does this hurt, and how long does it take?
Typically, it is not very painful when you have it done because your whole scalp is numbed.
So they numb your scalp?
Yes, the process of numbing.
That hurts. You could literally. Oh, the process.
The shot hurts in the head.
It depends on how it's done, but yes, it can be painful, and that's what most people remember is just the shots in the head.
Seth, how many shots in the head did you get?
I probably had 3 or 4, and the worst part is that they're like, hey, if you start to feel it, let us know, and you're trying to like hold on because you don't want it. But I mean, I just couldn't do it. I'd asked them a couple times to numb me up again, and it was shots don't bother me at all in any part of my body, but the head was really
where
bad.
When they shoot your head, where do they put the head? Like where they shoot
right in the
it?
Scalp.
Like on the side, like over by your temple, or right in the middle.
Every part of it. It's a lot of shots, and so. The goal is to do what's called a ring block or do some nerve blocks first so that the secondary shots don't hurt as much.
Can you give me some pills to numb me?
Yeah, and also, for
how about
people
some laughing gas?
That's what my secret is that I have the laughing gas. And so people that
Seth,
don't like the shots.
Seth, next time you're over at Diaco's, ask for a hit of that laughing gas.
Just a shot on my way out?
Well, hey, can I get a, yeah, exactly. Can I get a hit?
When you have the laughing gas, you don't care about the shots. And so having the laughing gas available will make it easier to do these procedures because, guys don't like shots. And we'll numb the skin before we numb it up with the syringe, and then we'll have you on the laughing gas so you don't really care about it. I mean, you can get a tattoo on laughing gas and not even know you're getting a tattoo.
Yeah, laughing gas is pretty cool. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
You're going to put somebody like in front of a TV or something, Dan, since they're going to be there for a little while?
They get TV or headphones, whatever they want to do. Sometimes they fall asleep. People sometimes fall asleep,
Yeah.
And you can stop and break. There's a break for lunch. You can, get up and go to the bathroom.
Is it like 6 hours?
The whole day is probably about 6 hours, yeah. But there's some downtime. Like I said, you can relax, have lunch,
No,
chill.
but hold on. But if a guy got it done, let's say he did it on a Friday, and so that he could, can you return back to work on Monday?
Oh, definitely.
Can you return back to work on the next day, or do you suggest a guy take what's the downtime as a doctor that you prescribe?
You could return to work the next day. There's really no downtime. It's all under local anesthesia. So, there's no real recovery except you just got to, protect your scalp for
Now, is your scalp going to be red and tender and bloody?
Well, when you leave,
I just want to know what a feller is to expect,
Well, the next.
What if he works heavy machinery and he has to wear a hard hat the next day?
You can't do that.
Yeah, okay.
You can't wear a hard hat the next day. You have to wait a week before you put anything.
So you're
on
gonna have to
your
tell all the construction dudes, listen, if you're wearing a hard hat, you're gonna have to miss a week of work.
You're not supposed to get your head wet, right, Dan? You're not supposed to get. I thought that might have been a thing.
By the way, that wasn't my cough. That wasn't my cough.
I hit my cough button, but it was loud.
But I'll get blamed for it.
You're allowed to put water. You spray it the first couple of days, and then you put dilute baby shampoo and kind of rinse it real gently, the second half of that first week. Then after a week, you can get it wet and shower normally.
Now, do those?
They just don't want the shower to shoot the plugs out.
Do those plugs end up rooting and growing? That now. You got
So within a week, you don't have really any red left. There's a couple maybe small little scabs in the front. The back's pretty much already healed because each graft donor site is only a millimeter in diameter or less than a millimeter, 0.9 millimeters.
But the end result is that, at the end of the result, is that hair takes.
When that hair takes forever.
And
that's it. The hair.
So once
hair
it takes,
is permanent.
if you would have to get a haircut, can you cut that hair?
Yes, but then once you graft it eventually, the first week or two, it doesn't. It kind of dies, and then a new hair grows out within 3 to 4 months, and so within 6 months, usually you look fantastic.
So you graft it dies, but it sprouts you another one before it dies. That's the one that keeps.
Right.
And 6 months later, you look like Fabio.
Right. It doesn't really die. It just falls out and the new one comes in.
FTE K-Dub 25 and Shane Marzov 20.
Let me do some words. We'll come back with the Brian.
The Brian list.
The Brian list.
Let's talk about stuff.
And then what's that?
I'm ready to write it down and also send him the clip.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Lummy.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Bubba, Dr. Dan's also got a gift.
Should we open it now or do you want me to open it?
Next break. Then I think. Oh, you know what? I gotta do the Brian 3 or 4. But then I got Merch Crick coming in, and I'm actually gonna. This is a very rare appearance.
Oh.
But she's coming in to talk about how I had to calm her down. She was screaming. I had to fucking step in. She was screaming at this girl from the fucking cemetery that was shaking her down. Dan, you might be able to get into how much, because your whole family bought one of those mausoleums.
Yeah.
And so you can get it into the fucking shakedown of cemeteries.
Okay.
If you want to. Yours might not be the same. But
We don't get charged.
They charge you. They charge you $850.
That's ridiculous.
Just to open it up.
That's fucking ridiculous.
$11.50 on Sundays.
I know. I heard those numbers. It's ridiculous.
And then you have to put a plaque up, and the plaque is $1,000.
And it's got to be their plaque, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they sign that? Was that in the original contract?
That's what she's asking for.
That's what I like to see. Those astronomical prices. Because who would spend $5,000 for something that costs $1,000 to open?
Yeah, they paid all these fees up front to have this little niche area, not knowing that you got nickel and dime on the backside.
Shameful. So the funeral home's not being the dick, it's the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
The funeral home took care of you guys, right?
Yeah. It's the fucking...
Bro, but when they cremate someone, do the bones partially burn and then they grind the rest? How does that work?
I think so. I think what they do is they perform the cremation. They perform it, and then I think the furnace can only burn so much bone, and that there's bone left. And I think they run that through it through a grinder.
They do run through a grinder.
That would be what I would think based on when I got Eddie's ashes. I had to divide them into like 5 different. I got some. Tara got some. Mom got some. His sisters got some.
Was it like salt and pepper with like 2 different colors of material?
No, it was just like white volcanic ash.
It's like gray white?
Yes. It's gray white ash, but you can see little bone fragments in it.
Maybe next break?
No, this break.
This break?
Yeah. You can sit in when we do the Brian stuff, and then that'll go right to you. But it's like you can see a little bit of bone. Like the size of a pencil lead.
Right. I'm sticky.
What are you looking for?
I was just seeing the temperature.
If you like it down one, you just ask.
Well, I just wanted to see if it was 76. I know that's kind of like sometimes you're on 77, 78. That's when you can obviously tell it's hot in here.
Why don't you just say, Sponge, I'm hot?
I don't know what you're eating. I just wanted to take a peek, I figured that would tip you off.
Maybe I don't want you back here.
Oh, I know you don't. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know we got the equator, the Mason-Dixon line. I know where it is.
But you crossed it.
Yeah, I did. And what are you going to do? You're eating a pancake. I mean...
So you're saying you calculating, knowing that I would not, it's going to take a lot for me to get up and do anything because I'm harvesting this pancake so much that...
Yeah, big time.
You could back behind me doing the fucking all kinds of shit.
I could walk right in your fridge right now, grab a drink, have a couple of sips behind you, and still really have nothing done to me.
You're probably right.
That's a good flapjack, though.
Mm-hmm. But I have to eat it fast, which makes me look barbaric.
Well, you used to put a hat on the camera. What happened?
I don't know. I lost it.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All at the Bubba Army. Now returns.
Damn, Lumby, I'm getting soft.
What happened?
Now I'm letting my girlfriend on the air.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've never done that. Ever. Hardly. I mean, I don't think, I think Heather came on a few times.
Yes. Yes.
And Nikki came on a few times, but here's the merch crick, and she's here in the studio today.
Yeah, but she's intelligent, though.
Well, I don't know what her voice is going to sound like.
She's a hero. I mean, she was in law enforcement. She's a hero.
No, I know, but I don't know that I've heard her voice. Like, Merch Crick, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Now, is she working the mic correctly? You might have to give a...
It's very odd because it's pointing straight down because she's so small.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
So it looks, is she like having to put her little Minnie Mouse head up? Like,
yes. Like
can you try
like getting bird food
for it?
Can you maybe try to go?
She fixed it.
to help her out.
Hello, everybody.
And I think she fixed it. Yeah.
Oh, damn it, Lummy.
Oh, man.
Did you spill something?
No.
Did you drop the mouse?
Drop the mouse, but I'll get it.
You need some help?
No, but I got to be careful because, Lummy, if you go if you put too much of an angle on the slider chair.
Go into the TV?
Yes, it all of a sudden gives you zero notice. And, of course, there's a big extension cord down here. Okay, cool. Jesus, I'm absolutely losing it. So I brought her in here today. I guess it's a good enough shot, the shot that I'm seeing now.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, she brought it down, fixed it.
It seemed like she could bring it down. Could she bring it down more so it was more parallel?
Yeah, there she goes.
There
right
you
there.
go. Thank you.
There you go.
And Lummy, maybe you being the executive producer maybe should have been a little more proactive on that. I'm just saying,
Well, it depends. I didn't know if we were coming right to her now, so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought we were going over Brian's list.
We are, but I was going to do his list and then roll right into her deal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kim, just Kim. I'm trying to sell you an F-150 for $6,400, Kim. From some Nigerian internet cafe that stole my identity, Kim. So $100 tip for the Merch Crick. She's a hell of a woman. Yes, she is. And Merch Crick, before we get started on your stuff, I want to make sure that you know the general consensus among all the Bubba Army is they're so very sad for you, and they feel for you, and they don't even know the words to say as to how sorry they are for you, losing your mom.
And I want to thank each and every one of them. I have got messages on Messenger that I haven't opened yet or replied to, and I just want to thank each and every one of the Bubba Army who sent prayers tirelessly as I asked, and who are sending prayers now for strength to get through this. And I feel like they've been part of my family throughout this whole experience, and I want to tell them thanks. And if I haven't,
Merch Crick
replied,
has the voice texture of Mickey Mouse on estrogen.
T-shirt Will 25 Merch Crick Mafia.
If Mickey Mouse was to be going through estrogen, if Mickey Mouse was transitioning, that's what his Mickey Mouse voice would be like the way the Merch Crick's voice is. I'm just messing with you, Merch Crick. So she does have a story. So she was, listen, I'm sitting in my recliner yesterday, and she is on the phone with what I'm believing is the cemetery that her mother is going to be buried in. Or her ashes will be put in this. Her family a long time ago, from this particular cemetery we're going to get into, bought a niche. Was it called a niche?
Yes, it's called a niche.
And it's like the locked up area where you display everybody. You can buy a certain amount of slots in this niche.
Yes, it holds 6.
And so she is talking about that to this woman, and Merch Crick is losing her. I mean, she's really getting mad. I mean, flipping out on this chick to the point where we'll get into it, Lummy, after I get through the Brian 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
So I told Merch Crick, I was like, man, I don't think I could tell the story any better than you could. So, and you experienced it, and you know what the woman said to you. And so why don't you just, when you show up for my fruit, which Lummy, I completely irresponsibly did not consume, instead had a Dan the Devil, the 2,000. I bet you that pancake, Lummy, with the way I slather it up is 2,000 calories.
What'd you do with the fruit?
Macho ate it.
Well, that's
for real?
Yes, I gave it to Macho.
Yeah, fat ass might want pancakes, but I'll take those grapes and those strawberries along with those watermelon. Dig it!
I mean, you told her to get that fruit out of here
I
when
know,
she
I
brought
did.
it to you.
Thank you, Seth.
Yeah,
how's the temperature for you, kid?
It's cooling down. Thank you.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanted down one more, buddy?
Thanks for going the extra mile.
No problem. He was warm, and he came back behind me when I was gorilla consuming the pancakes, knowing that I wouldn't really, be able to attack him with my small little arms because
sticky with the syrup?
Because I was just really tearing into that last 3 or 4 bites of those, 2,000 calorie pancakes.
When a bear's mauling, whatever bears eat, it's not gonna bother you when you walk in the park.
When a bear's mauling something, you can go back behind that bear and do anything you want, right?
Yeah.
I'm mauling something, and he comes back and he looks at the thermostat, and then he looks all around and stuff, and he's like, "Listen, I could do anything I want right now when you're eating." He goes, "I could slap you in the back of your head. I can do this. I know the Mason-Dixon line, and I cross it anytime that you're mauling something, because you will not leave your mauling to worry about me."
I enjoyed that exchange.
Thanks. So let's go ahead and clear out. Hopefully we can send this to Brian. Dear Brian, this is Bubba the Love Sponge.
He just got a Webanyama PSA 9 for $60 last night. Now you're gonna bring him down.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
So he got I'm sorry, he got what did he get?
A
PS
Webanyama.
69?
PSA 9.
What's that mean?
Break?
No, he bought it. Brian texts me when he gets cards and he gets good deals.
And is it getting one for $60? Like, is that a big deal?
Yeah, because he said they normally go for $120.
Yeah, Wemby PSA 9. I mean, what kind of card was it?
Let's get our penises out here and start jerking it to a Webby PSA D9.
It was a short print hoops card. I'm just telling you, Bubba. I'm just saying he's feeling good. So this will bring him back.
So
to
let me, dear Brian.
Yes.
This is Bubba the Love Sponge, and we have you. You are a co-host on my program almost every Thursday. And I love our dynamic. I love your humor. I love your wit. I love how sharp you are. You're very, very quick. You're quick on the Google. You're just you're a friend. But if we could just work on the following, I would appreciate it. Lummy, I don't want any mentions. No slight-handed jokes, no zingers, no one-liners, no. I don't want to hear the word Spice Boy or Manson on my airwaves, at all. No references to what they may do, what they may be doing. Nothing. I don't want those two names uttered on mine unless I utter them, but not from him. I don't want any references about Blitz or Anna from him. And what they may or may not have been involved in, or what they did, or anything. And no jokes about it. None, zero. And I don't want any references to Cowhead. I don't want any references. I don't want his name on my airwaves either. So when you're being your little schmarmy, toothy self, and you think you get a little Cowta slide in there on me, or a Pitbull Tidler deal, stop. And with Cowta comes, the ancillary Cowta stuff as well. So don't think just because you can't say Cowta that you're going to be like, that's right, Sponjo, I'm going to a Pitbull Toddler contest tonight. None of that. You know that ties in with that.
Those always kill, though. Those jokes are always great.
So, yeah, great for you. And then was there a fourth?
Yes.
What?
Tyler?
Yes. I don't want to hear any. Thank you. I need to write that down, Dan. Even though I asked Lummy and you answered for him, which is something you need to work on.
You didn't write it down, and I was just going along the same theme of what you were talking about.
How you know Lummy didn't write it down?
Well, you didn't say it.
Oh, okay.
You hadn't said anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you're picking my brain, or you're making. Is that a suggestion?
No, it's going along of what it sounds like it's congruent to your thought.
It is. I just didn't know if I said it prior.
No, you did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't need anything. No Tyler zingers. No, none of that. So those are the 4 rules.
Got it.
That's it. And does.
But Hogan's fair game?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, of course Hogan's fair game. I mean, I got a 3-part documentary coming out about it.
Just clarifying.
Yeah. So Lummy, if you could send that air check to Brian.
Will do.
See what Brian thinks about it. Listen, the impersonations and, that isn't, there's no, he doesn't have to stop doing that. He can do it every break that he wants. And stay away from those 4 things. Seth, you being kind of Brian's union rep, if you will. I mean, of all the people in the studio, you would probably align yourself closest with Brian, would you not? Of all of us, would you not agree?
I think we're cool.
Do you find those 4 unreasonable, or do you think that is a reasonable request?
No, I think it's reasonable.
All right.
Does that apply to everybody or just him?
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody.
Thank you.
No problem. Because I know you like going to a couple of them. You know what? I don't know.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes a Deep Pipple toddler reference because I've never seen them and I'm really proud of that. Like sometimes that stuff cracks me up. But yeah, I'm not. I don't want to mess you up your flow at all.
Yeah.
Just because I think something's funny.
I've seen them. I regret it.
Whatever.
What a mark.
I don't even know they're doing gigs anymore. No.
I think
I think they finally bamboozled enough bars that I think
out of $5,000.
Yeah. I think that exactly.
Actually, they charging that much
to find a bunch of
Really?
Yeah.
For a job or cover band?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they would because Cowhead would give you like 400 free mentions.
Well, they would. Yeah,
show.
they would build it into whatever. If they were working with a beer or a bar or something like that, they would build in like you'd have to buy the Pitbull toddler to come play that night, and then they pitch. I know they were $5,000 back in the day. It's probably more.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Oh God,
I hate that COVID possibly broke them up though. Before I ever got to see their comeback tour,
I think they're bro. I think that whole thing's a very fragile situation. I really do. All right, so now, Dan, I know we're going to switch gears and go to the Merch Crick deal. And, Dan, you also are involved, but in, I think maybe Merch Crick's family's on the low end of having a private little thing that you put your family members in. And I think your family's on the upper end of that, where I think that you guys actually bought real estate in a cemetery and actually constructed a well into six-figure marble mausoleum.
Yes, we did. We just did like a sort of a Trump Tower at the cemetery.
But I mean, I think this was 5 or so years ago.
No, it wasn't. It was just a couple years ago, Bubba. It was right before Dad died, and we.
So you're like, okay, listen, our parents are getting older. We need to have a plan where we put them, right? Is that kind of like how it kind of evolved?
Yeah. Well, we were talking about what are we going to do. And, my grandparents and my mom are, my grandparents are in it, and my mom is scheduled to be in a mausoleum in Philadelphia. But the problem is Philadelphia is so far that we never get to see it.
Right.
And so we're all now here in Florida, and we put Grandmom in a cemetery, and it was far away. We never got to really visit it. We knew that Dad was dying soon, and Steve and I were trying to figure out what to do with ourselves and our families. And so we got together.
Man, Dan, you're the most healthiest guy in the world. I'm not even beginning to think I just want everybody to burn. I just want to get it cremated and my ashes distributed amongst whoever wants them. Hey, Merch Crick, if you're still alive, maybe we can sell little Bubba Ashes urns.
Oh, God, the last hurrah.
Yeah, and you can keep the money.
So much.
You could sell get those real little mini urns. And you can sell them for literally $500.
Oh my God!
Get a piece of Bubba.
Can you autograph the urns before you go?
I can autograph the urns before you go.
Perfect.
Can we take a pre-order?
You definitely do pre-orders.
No, we're not going to do that.
Just so we get the money while you're alive, Bubba.
All right, so
exactly.
This was but here's the deal. Once you bought the space from the cemetery,
yes,
then you had to construct the mausoleum. Is it mausoleum?
Mausoleum.
And there's only there's only a few companies that do that, right?
Yes, it's a very specialized job. We had to actually bring a guy down from I think New York to actually construct it.
And it's very expensive.
It was way more expensive than I thought when I agreed to it.
Right now, but here's the deal. Now that you've paid it, so I'm assuming you've paid for the mausoleum for the people to construct it.
We actually have a block of land there, and on part of that land is the mausoleum. So we actually have more land that we can actually bury people on.
Right. So you could do Diacos on down. You may not be a big enough Diaco to get in the mausoleum. So if you're just a regular Diaco, nothing really extraordinary. You're just gonna get have a regular burial and a tombstone Willie in Diaco land, so to speak.
Yeah, it's like watching the game on the jumbotron from the parking lot.
But here's the deal. Once you've erected the mausoleum and you paid for the real estate, do they knick-knack you on any other charges?
I think there's a small, because of the land maintenance, there's a small fee for that. But I can go in and out of that mausoleum anytime I want.
Saying.
I have the keys.
What I'm saying is
keys. Yes.
It's your mausoleum, and you
enter and exit at will.
And you can go in there. The owners of the mausoleum can go in there anytime you want. And if you would happen to have somebody that died, it does. The people of the cemetery don't charge you to put, as long as you're not overfilling your mausoleum, it's made for X amount of people. As long as, you're not overfilling that area, I don't think they're nickel and diming you the way that the Merch Crick is. I don't think they do they?
No, and they don't mandate who does the engraving on the stones or anything like that. I mean, there's, again, it's a very reasonable thing. We're at the Italian cemetery in Ybor, the Italian Club Cemetery.
So listen to this. So Merch Crick, I'm going to let you tell the story, and that is I'm gonna tell a little bit of the story, then you fill it in. But your father's parents were the first to go, and your family decided years and years ago, that you guys were going to. Now, what's this cemetery called?
Chapel Hill Gardens Cemetery in Dade City, Florida.
There you go. Chapel Hill Gardens, whatever the hell it is, Dade City, Florida. Which, by the way, I would recommend nobody ever doing business with these people. Wait till you hear the racket. I mean, there's almost more of this is like mob racket type stuff.
Do we have to put in our will to not bury us there?
Yeah, I think you need to.
Okay.
Like, man, because they're going to nickel and dime you. So, Merch Crick, it's my understanding that your grandma and grandpa went down there, or your family, or whoever, maybe your mom, whoever, went down there like in the 80s.
90s.
In the 90s. And you guys purchased. Go ahead. Tell us what you purchased.
Back in the 90s, my grandparents went to Chapel Hill Gardens Cemetery and purchased a niche. This was at least a decade before anybody had passed, but they were trying to plan ahead.
Responsible.
Yeah.
So at that time, they got a niche for 6 people. At that time, there was only 5 people in the family. My grandparents that lived with us for nearly 40 years, my parents, which was my dad and my mom, who were married for 40 years, and then just me. And they anticipated me getting married and
well, actually, it was for you and your maybe the husband you were with at the time.
Correct.
It's just if we're going to be intellectually honest.
Correct.
But I just want to let you know, I'm not going in that crappy mausoleum, so don't think that you're going to get me in there, okay?
Well,
you're not going to get me on a couple technicality so that I'm in some stupid Dade City. No. So please know that, if you want to be buried in there, you can, but I'm not going to be buried in there. And I think after yesterday, overhearing your conversations, it feels like you're not going to bury anybody in there, and you might be taking people out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, Bubba, you want to be buried near me?
I don't know. I don't think I want to be buried. I just
want
your
ashes buried.
I don't know. I don't even know.
He wants his ashes spread out of the Jiffy Lube.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. So you guys back in the 90s, Erica, paid whatever it was for this niche.
Yes, they went down there, picked it out. It was overlooking the babies. The babies that were buried. So it's an actual niche that overlooks the section that is just for babies. So that my mom and my grandmother would always be able to overlook the babies. There's a baby section that it overlooks.
There you go. I want to overlook the stripper section. Let me.
There you go.
What I'm saying?
That's weird.
Yeah.
So is it large enough for caskets or just for ashes?
Well, the mausoleum part inside holds the caskets. They're on a niche on the outside that overlooks the babies.
Yeah. So anyway, you bought 6 lots, right?
Yes.
Back in the 90s, you paid for 6 slots to this Dade City ripoff.
Chapel Hill Gardens Cemetery on 301.
I'm just calling it Dade City ripoff Chapel Hill. So you paid them, boom. Then Grandma and Grandpa die, and you guys go to put them in there, this niche, their urns, if you will. And did they charge you back then, or had this new upticking charge, just a new thing? Because you guys do have 2 people, Grandma and Grandpa, are in there, right?
Correct. So when I first called earlier this week,
what year did Grandma and Grandpa die?
2007 and 2009. My grandmother passed.
Were they cremated?
Yes, they were cremated as well.
And their ashes are in this little niche.
Correct.
Did the woman, or did you have the same type of interaction with this place back in 2009 as you did now? Or do you think that they've pulled a fast one and they've made these new rules to really gouge people?
Well, initially when I called earlier this week, they and I spoke to this woman who answers the phone and also apparently is the supervisor there and the only person that works there. She had
cemeteries
told
don't
me,
got a lot of, unless you want to talk to the guy that's weed whacking or the guy that's digging the holes for the people. That not a lot of people.
Not a lot of departments there.
Yeah.
Well, most of the people aren't complaining either.
Right.
No. And
Merch Crick complain. Ooh.
No, I'm talking about the people like in the cemetery.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody's there.
People die to get in there.
Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead.
So I called earlier this week, and she initially thought my mother was already in the niche because she said, I already see Virginia there. And I said, no, she's not there. It's Rita and George Hernandez.
Those are the two people that are in there.
Correct.
Right.
So I said, she said, well, I see her all over the paperwork. I said, because she signed the paperwork.
Oh, on the initial on the initial purchase of said niche.
So my mom had signed all the paperwork, so she's
probably ended up paying for it all too.
She said, I need to go down there and see for myself. And I said, I assure you, my mom's name is not on the niche. But she, called me back yesterday.
Yeah, is this the conversation I heard?
Yes. Well, initially the other day she gave me the prices, which I was like, okay.
Hold on,
that's fine.
Dan, wait till you hear this racket. So if
prices for
hold on, just to open up the niche to be able to go put Virginia in there, Dan, Monday through Friday, just for them to open up the niche.
It's a door. How do you open it?
Monday through it's 4 Phillips screws.
Well, I mean,
come on.
So
anyway, Monday through Friday
is $825.
$825.
Not $8.25.
No.
$800 for 4 screws.
Yes.
$200 a screw.
Yeah,
I'm in the wrong business.
Then how much on Saturday?
Saturday is $975.
What? Nine, and then Sundays
is $1,150.
Now hold on, Dan. That's just them giving you access to the niche that you've already purchased. That would be like them telling you, Dan, if you're going to go into your mausoleum there and go visit Joe, every time you open that door Monday through Friday, it's $850. I mean, you'd be down there with your 30-06 blowing some people up.
Yeah, that wouldn't go well.
So then continue on.
Wait.
Oh, there's much more. Hold on, Dan. They want $1,000 to. They have to do the engraving of the little, placard that's outside the niche. In order to do that, you just can't. I just can't call Rainbow Rick up and have him do it for me. You got to have them do it. And it's $1,000.
I understand them wanting to do it because of consistency, but the price is outrageous.
No, but there's an extra catch to that $1,000 plaque. There's a contingency that says that it has to be as couples. So I said, okay, well, what if I give my spot up? Because out of respect for her new husband, I didn't necessarily.
By the way, Cocan Carlos for those scoring at home.
Correct, Carlos.
Cocan when we refer to the great Carlos, we always refer to him as what?
Cocan Carlos.
Exactly.
So I said, I give up my spot. My mom gets her own nameplate. My dad gets his own nameplate.
Because, by the way, her real mom and her real dad are not together anymore. So they're like saying, Dade City, rip you off. Chapel Hill Willie says no.
Well,
the only way Virginia can be on a placard is if she's with George. And Merch Crick's like, she's not with George anymore. So why can't we just give her own placard? Because Carla, if you put her and George on a plate, that's disrespectful to Carlos.
Yeah.
Correct. So
I'm sorry, I'm like Cocan Carlos.
Cocan Carlos.
So the other day.
Yesterday.
No, the first day I spoke with her, which was, I believe, the day after my mom passed. And I got this information.
By the way, your mom, you just lose your mom, okay? So Dan, you know how, I mean, my God, how emotional and just how numb and how much you're grieving when you lose your mom or dad, 24 hours thereafter.
It's a very difficult time.
You're just a hot mess.
Yes.
I mean, you're making these arrangements. You're
arguably very vulnerable too.
Right. So go ahead, Merch Crick.
So that initial day, I gave her Carlos's name and phone number, and I said, we're taking a day to grieve. She just passed yesterday. I'd appreciate it if you don't call him today. Just go ahead and take a look at our paperwork and go ahead and take a look at the site and see if we could do a different plaque for each, for my dad and for my mom, and
take you out of the deal.
Take me out of the deal.
Right.
Correct.
Because I want to be spread with Bubba and off the Chinworth Bridge in Warsaw, Indiana.
Of course, baby.
Right, sure. Man.
Of course, baby.
Shut up, let me don't reiterate it.
Oh, sorry.
You're trying to make me look bad.
Oh no, that's very loving, Bubba.
So go ahead, Merch Crate.
So yesterday I get the call back from her, and she said, I actually went and looked at the site like you asked, and it's going to be impossible to not do it other than as a couple. The nameplate has to be as a couple. We could do George Hernandez and Virginia Gonzalez. We could do that. And I said, well, let's just wait on that. I said, how about we just go ahead and open the niche? I know it's going to take a long time to get the nameplate. Let's just, when we do get her ashes in a few weeks, let's go ahead and have her placed, and then we'll discuss the nameplate issue at a later date.
But mind you now, you better get that. You better have them open it up Monday through Friday, because it's not. They're going to gouge the hell out of you.
Right.
And just open it up then. It's did you say 8:50?
8:25.
8:25, Dan, just for them to be
Monday
able,
through Friday.
just for you to be able to go in there and put Virginia on her little shelf.
So I was trying to,
It should be free. You've already bought that. You've already bought 6 slots in that niche. Like, why should it cost to open it up?
So there's only 3 nameplates for the 6 slots. Is that the problem?
That's what they're saying. It's
gotta get that
quite
contract.
I do.
Yeah,
I do
so,
have to actually.
So
look
Dan,
at
let me ask you a question. If Merch Crick can rational up, find the original paperwork, and it doesn't have all these tic-tac fees on it, like 8. I can't think that back in the day, Dan, when you bought this, that they told you it was $8.50 to open it, because most people would be like, "Are you kidding me?"
No one would pay that.
I mean, if we have 6 spots in here and all,
I don't mind paying that. That's not an issue.
I do.
My other issue is she tells me currently you've paid for a vase. That's going to have to be removed when we put your mom in there. So you're no longer will be able to have a vase there. I said, so we paid for a vase in the past and you're not going to put it back? She said, no, we don't allow vases anymore. And I said, so now I won't have a place to put flowers when I go and visit? And
hold on. Every time we visit, do we have to give them $8.25 to get in?
No, it's free to visit cemetery, sweetheart.
No, but there's, if they're inside this little niche, we can't get.
No, you don't actually go and look at the ashes.
Oh,
you
look at
just
the nameplate.
Look at the nameplate and leave flowers.
Just make our own nameplate. Look at it at home.
So she's telling me they're going to remove the vase that's there, and I have to get the nameplate now with the name George Hernandez and Virginia Gonzalez. They can't take me off of it. So I said, so it's pretty much just a money grab. You want, $2,100 from me right now, instead of just let's open it up, put her there. Let me try to, handle this nameplate issue down the road. And she said, no, that's not it. I said, well, that's what it sounds like to me. You're going to get rid of the vase that we paid for in the past and not put it back up. I said, so that's what it sounds like to me. I said, it's kind of like a shakedown. She goes, well, if you have a problem with it, I'll just call her husband.
So meanwhile, hold on now.
You have really no say in this.
Hold on now. Now, Dan, we really don't, Carlos is going to know about this now, but we really didn't want Carlos knowing about it because we're trying to be respectful of Carlos.
Correct.
Meaning like we don't want, we want Virginia to be listed as Virginia Gonzalez, which is Carlos's last name. But we don't want her nameplate to be attached to the person that she's divorced from, George, Erica's father. Instead, we just want a standalone Virginia Gonzalez nameplate. And in lieu of that, we'll relinquish Merch Crick's rights so that George can have his very own as well. Since we have this has to be a couple situation. That sounds like complete shakedown, real shady stuff to me, doesn't it?
It does, and
like there's no wiggle room, no negotiations, no nothing. I'm sorry. Go ahead about the vase.
First of all, to force someone to have the name of their ex on their grave with them is unconscionable.
Right.
Secondly, is the vase like attached to one of the name where a nameplate would be?
No, it's attached to the marble, so it's probably like.
So it doesn't have to be removed.
It's probably like a 24 by 24 inch marble section, and there's a vase on there.
And you put flowers in there.
And you.
Does it physically have to be removed to put another?
She said it has to physically be removed, and it will not go back up.
I'd say don't do a thing.
Yeah, get
Leave it.
Dan says no. Dan says get me the paperwork because I might be able to write a real nice letter.
So I asked her, "Can I speak to your supervisor?" This is when she says, "I'm the final say around here." And
so hold on, she says, "I'm the final say." So then Merch Crick goes, "Who owns the place?" So she gives Merch Crick the information to. I didn't know that cemeteries were owned by people. I thought that municipalities owned cemeteries.
Some are, some aren't. Some are publicly owned and some are privately owned.
Yeah, well, whoever owns this one is a complete shyster. And so
I haven't spoke to him yet, and I did know.
Who was the woman you spoke to? Tammy?
Tammy Stock. Now, I did know the previous director there, who is Anthony Rinaldi, who is a friend of mine, and I do have to reach out to him.
Anthony would never been pulling this.
Right. And he may have contact with, I'm going to see what I could do to get in contact with Randy Bush, who's the owner of the cemetery.
Do you have a picture of it?
No, I don't have a picture of it with me.
So anyway, Lummy, the woman says this. You ready?
Yeah.
So Merch Crick goes, listen, you know what? I'm not satisfied with any of this. And by the way, Lummy, I'm kind of like an old guy. I'm yelling in the background saying, tell her we're pulling everything out of there. And so Merch Crick.
Pull everything.
I'm playing my Monopoly game. I'm in my underwear, getting ready. It's like 4:30. I'm getting ready to wrap it up for the day. I got Dan calling me at 6:30 making high-level decisions. I'm completely fuzzy time. I'm yelling at the Merch Crick what she should be screaming to this Tammy Stock chick or whatever hell her name is, and I'm like, it sounds like a shakedown to me. And then Merch Crick goes, this sounds like a shakedown to me, and so.
Then when I tell her I don't think I even want my mom there at this point. I don't need you taking the vase that is there for my grandparents.
I don't need you doing anything.
I don't need you doing anything right now.
And
leave everything as it is.
So
and then
guess
she
what?
tells me, well, I'm going to give Carlos a call.
She then, Lummy, says, after Merch Crick says, hey, you know what? Let me give you the good news. I'm not putting my mom there under these conditions, and I might be pulling Grandma and Grandpa out. I'm over with this. You have been so unprofessional and so mean and so disrespectful and are just absolutely upticking me and charging me. You want my $2,100, but I can't have my mom as a singular nameplate. Like you can't make that call. Like there's a rule for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's an unbreakable Florida state rule. Shut up. It's just your stupid rule to shake money down from people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she goes, the bitch of a woman goes, I'm going to call Carlos and tell him everything. We're like, no, don't call Carlos because we're trying to be respectful to Carlos. That's what this whole thing's about. He's the last person we want you calling.
I have a question about Carlos.
Speak to him in his proper name.
Cocaine Carlos.
What?
Number one is, did he sign the contract?
No, my mother signed the contract.
Second question is, are the grandparents her parents or his parents?
They're my father's
parents.
So they lived with us for 40 years, and she took care of them. Okay. So that's why she, and Carlos knows this. This was we've discussed it at the hospital.
Dan, we've got to get a copy of that initial deal because I'm sure that back in the 90s when they bought this little niche that they weren't not up front with every time you want to open up the niche, it's $825. And then you can only be put in as a couple. You can't be put in individual. And nobody would sign that contract.
Nope.
And Dan, if they've not legally noticed you when they've made changes to, here's the thing.
They can't
Dan,
make a unilateral change to a contract.
Yeah, so
you
but
can't do that.
If you were to try to, you'd have to get a hold of that person and put them on notice that we would like to renegotiate this contract. They've never done that. You can't change the rules of a contract and the other party not know about it.
Correct.
Right?
It's illegal.
And that's why I asked. I said, so the vase was legal in the past. It was in your bylaws in the past, but you've changed the bylaws and now the vase has to be removed. I said, how do I know what the original contract said about it had to be couples only per nameplate? I said, I have to get a copy of this. And I said, in all actuality,
what's this place called again? I'm sorry, Dade City?
It's Chapel Hill Gardens Cemetery on 301 in Dade City.
Chapel Hill Garden Cemetery, home of getting shook down. They'll shake you right on down. What a bunch of shady son of a bitches.
And what if they were still married and they didn't die together? They still got to put his name on the thing.
Yes.
That's asinine. He's not even dead yet.
Yeah, George isn't even dead.
Why would you put his name on an urn?
And Virginia doesn't want to be on.
Mitch.
And Virginia and George are no longer together.
It's unconscionable.
George is still alive. Virginia does not want to be on there with George. She's married to Carlos. So since Carlos can't be on there because he's not dead, then we're just going to put Virginia on there singular.
It's
like,
ridiculous.
what's the big deal? If I own this place, if I'm Bubba, owner of Chapel Hill Gardens, Shakedown Willie, I'm like, you know what, Miss Erica? Yes, of course we can do that. We can give your mom her individual, her very own plate. And, the vase is great. No big deal. A place to put flowers and things. And, we're not going to charge you anything to open it up. You guys just tell me when you guys need it open and I'll have it open for you. That's how a good businessman does things.
Yep.
Not some guy that's some shakedown artist from Wildwood, New Jersey. Son of a bitch.
Why does he got to be from Jersey?
Because shady people are from Jersey. Gotta admit, Dan. Not all people from Jerseys are flying snowbirds like you. Most of them are some real shakedown artists. The natives of New Jersey, Dan, are a little shaky. They're a little wise guysy.
But baby, I think we should acknowledge how Tom Dobie's funeral home, how professional and
the contrast between the funeral home and the cemetery.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, I heard good stories about that.
I got to tell you, Tom Dobie and his funeral home services in Pasco County, completely opposite of what's the place called?
Chapel Hill Gardens.
Chapel Hill Gardens. Because Tom Dobie, man's like, you know what? Good seeing you. What can I do to make this thing easier for you? I mean, he's like the nicest guy in the world. They really have their act together. They help you with the Social Security. They help you get with 6 or 7 or 8 death certificates because you usually need that many to close bank accounts and property stuff.
Sure, it's a disaster. Steven's been dealing with that for a year and a half, and we're still not done. It takes 2 years to get all that crap taken care of.
We just got it recently completed with Jeff.
Right. That's what I'm saying. 1.5 to 2 years, all day long.
You got to get and listen, the Dobie Funeral Home, they get you all the death certificates that you need. They get you just any Social Security forms.
That's professional.
That you need. You're right, Erica. They're the complete opposite of this bad cemetery. I would suggest,
well, I went to Duke, so in my mind, anything with the name Chapel Hill sucks.
Oh, that's true. That's right. That's where University of North Carolina was. So anyway, Merch Crick, that's the story. And let me get her the air check of that because I like, what's the woman's name?
Tammy Stock.
I like Tammy Stock to know. This is Bubba the Love Sponge. And on the email that Merch Crick sends you, look at the bottom of it and look at we have over 250 million views of people that consume and have consumed the program. Heard on terrestrial radio, syndicated, and then let me 250 million views from all the various platforms that we distribute this particular program on. That's going to absolutely use every opportunity I can to let people know. And listen, Lummy, Tampa is our number one city.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. Seth, you see this, our number one by far.
Damn right.
Tampa's our number one city.
I can barely walk around this town without getting recognized.
Seth's shaking people down for $5 Polaroids.
Special discount if you catch me in St. Pete.
Yeah, exactly. He's a modern day Virgil, ready to take a pic for $5. I'm telling you right now, what's her name? Tammy Storch?
Tammy Stock.
Tammy Stock. I'm going to make sure And I'm not defaming you. Tammy Stock, let me tell you something. Don't get hurt feelioma. In fact, call any attorney you want to sue me because I've talked bad about your establishment. I've never lost a lawsuit under the guise of talking about a business and how they really treat their people. Remember this, the absolute truth will set you free. And if indeed your daytime opening up the niche fee is $8.25, and indeed you make people get engraved as couples, and you're just shaking people down and don't allow them to have vases in their little things anymore, then all of that's the truth, and I can't be sued for the truth. No rightful lawyer will ever sue me on a First Amendment case because they know I'm 1-0 on the most high-profile one of those ever. I got Jay Diaco just itching for another one, bitch. Go ahead and try to roll up on me with your stupid ass. Chapel Hill Gardens, Dade City Shakedown, mafia-based, in my opinion.
Should we show up today, Bubba, and just start digging up bodies until they...
No, now see, Seth, that's called action.
That's called action?
No,
that's called a call to action.
It's called to action.
I'm pretty sure it's a hometown-owned... Once I get in touch with Randy Bush,
hey, Lummy, you know who we need to get a hold of? The king of Dade City, Bob Cook.
That's right.
Bob Cook will get this thing handled up right now.
Send him down right now.
So anyway, Tammy, what's her name again?
Tammy Stock.
Tammy Stock. I'm going to every opportunity I have to tell the fine people, man, if you're thinking about picking a cemetery or where you're wanting your ashes displayed or anything, stay away from this place in Dade City, Chapel Hill Gardens. They're a bunch of flim-flam shakedown artists, and I got evidence to show. Go ahead and try to keep messing with me. So anyway, Merch Crick, I think we should pull everybody out of there and sue the hell out of them. That's what I'm saying.
I can't do that. I can't do that to my grandparents. That's where
they're dead. They don't even know.
That's also they decided as a family that's where they wanted the niche to overlook the babies.
I would sue them for the original cost of that plus pain and suffering. Dan could whip up all kinds of things.
I'm not looking for that. I was just.
I am.
She wants her vase.
Yeah, I wanted the vase and my mom to have her own nameplate.
Actually, we'll say, you know what? Dear, whatever the dude's name is who owns this crappy ass graveyard. I'm gonna tell you right now, we will settle. We will not sue you, and I will not say bad things on the air. I'm sorry. Truthful opinions of what I think about. See how I framed that, Dan? Mm-hmm. I will not give my opinion on what I feel your business practices are at the Garden, what is it called?
Chapel
Hill Gardens Shakedown Graveyard. I will not talk about you in a bad way. I will not talk about this bad experience that we're having now. All in lieu of this. This would be a binding contract.
Okay.
If he decides to take it. First of all, you're open. We're not paying nothing. Zero for you to open up that niche. Secondly, you're going to put Virginia in there, and you're going to have her own nameplate. Thirdly, it's going to say Virginia Gonzalez.
Period.
Now, when George Hernandez dies, which was formerly Virginia's husband, and they were supposed to be married as a couple, but they broke up, he can have his own individual. And then we don't want any more. Erica, who has a slot in there, she is not going to be in there. She's going to go wherever I tell her to go, okay? She's going to the Bubba Army graveyard, which Lummy gives me an idea that I need to turn the back 5 acres of my racetrack into a Bubba Army graveyard and start changing. It'd be it'd be all people from Bubba Army.
There you go.
Dude, think about it though. You have all that property. And you actually could do a graveyard there, a cemetery, and you could actually, have spots and have all these people that share a common love and a common philosophy buried together. What wonderful energy that place would have.
Exactly. So anyway, Lummy,
that's a big ass mausoleum.
So listen, Mr. Dade City owner of Chapel Hill Willie Shakedown. So Virginia's getting in. First of all, we're not paying to open the door. Virginia's getting in there. Her individual plaque, when George finally kicks it, which is going to be a long time because he's insane, he gets his own plaque, and then we're done. Okay, Merch Crick, Erica, she will not be getting buried in there. So that's our spots. Boom. No, and you know what? No charge. 0. Free engraved nameplate and free opening up the niche. Anything short of that, and I got a team full of lawyers that are going to sue you.
I'm not asking for all that.
Hold on. Are you now? Are you now overriding my decision for for your family?
No,
I think
not
the
at
only thing
all.
she
You're
was
right.
saying is she doesn't want a free nameplate.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not asking for a free nameplate. I'm just asking for an individualized nameplate for my mom.
But we're getting the open up fee waived. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay.
Not giving up on that.
Okay.
So we'll pay for the nameplate, which is
$1,000 is a rip-off.
Exactly, Dan. Could you sit here and let Romina agree to that? No.
It's a rip-off. It's hard to stomach that one.
I'm just telling you, man. My girlfriend's willing to pay for the nameplate, but if I had it my way, whoever owns this crappy ass place, I would be really, really lawyering up and saying I want it all for free because I, Bubba the Love Sponge, I have a direct mechanism to remind people of how shady your operation is. And you know what? I don't have to give my opinion. I just have to give real life stats saying that my girlfriend's family bought a niche from you in the 90s, and now that's evolved into an $825 for us to open it up daily fee in conjunction with there are no individual placards. You have to be on a placard with a person you're no longer with, and that's $1,000.
And
come on, man. You're promoing the whole thing. That's the only thing I don't care what Merch Crick says. That's the only thing we're agreeing to. That's the deal. Take it or leave it.
And let us have the vase.
And put the vase in there too. Let me, you know what we need to do? Just give me that air check in its entirety. Get it over to Merch Crick and Merch Crick. Send that to Tammy, and then we'll start talking.
Oh man.
Better yet, send that to the owner. And based on their responses, based on how long I continue this tirade.
Thank you for letting me have a voice.
All right, Merch Crick, thanks. Appreciate you. See you later.
I just can't believe she has to deal with this. I feel like they should have people that make these calls and handle all this stuff while the family can actually grieve.
Yeah.
Well, at the Bubba Army Graveyard, you're allowed to have a vase. You can bury one person or 3 people or 20 people. You can get buried in your car, in your boat, on your motorcycle.
Dan, we
can do it any way you want, mother.
No.
Ooh, I love it, Dan.
Bubba Army Graveyard is only for those that are cremated.
Oh,
we got to say yes, Dan.
More property.
More area.
He's got 5 acres.
Bubba, can you be on turn 1 or 2, with your lights coming from your eyeballs, you're this thick jack guy overlooking the graveyard?
With
pyramid, Jesus up on everything?
So it'll be my mausoleum will be on a hill.
That's right.
Right, at the top of the hill.
That overlooks the Bubba Army Graveyard, and then the Bubba Army Graveyard, is just, urns.
There'll be a statue of you like they have in Brazil of Jesus.
Yes, exactly.
On the top of the mountain.
But you have lights coming from your eyes or something.
Yes,
the whole area. Yeah.
Now, Jay, don't you think that as a lawyer, you'd like to look at that initial contract saying, if that's not in their initial and this is just strictly your lawyer opinion, but the contract that they signed back in the 90s, if it doesn't have, hey, we're going to charge you X amount of dollars to open this up, and the one name on the name plaque, if they've just made these rules since they signed the contract, does that make their Does that mean that their contract overrules what was signed in the 90s if they've never been given notice?
Generally, a contract is binding and cannot be altered unless both parties agree to the alteration or to the different terms of the contract.
Right.
It's in consideration.
So I can't have a contract with you and all of a sudden you take maybe,
20 years later, you show me a contract with changes to it. That doesn't work.
Are we that far behind?
Yeah, we're 50 minutes, but Dan's trying to open his package up.
Dan, can you wait till after the show? Can we do some commercials and come back with you opening your package, or do you need to open it now?
No, I can wait.
Okay.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
The fuck can you and I and Dan have a comment? Mommy doesn't even gonna go.
No, I don't. My big time executive producer spot is hanging with the chat, which is what I love. Hanging with the chat. Hanging with the chat. I can't read right now because I spilled the water. Spilled the water. Hanging with chat. I kicked my water over. What's up, everybody? It's Lemmy! Hopefully everyone's having a great day and enjoying the show. Lummy is cleaning his water up off the floor. Hopefully he's not Dr. Dan. Hello? I was going to tell Macho, I was going to tell him about to do the show disclosure. Thank you for cutting that, Macho, and saving it. I spilled some water. Let me investigate them. I'm not going to be staying there. What's up, Nolan? I'm hanging. I wasn't cool enough to go to the meeting. I know people were like, oh, he's the EP now. He goes on the meetings. Yeah, I spilled water. Dan's going to pipe. Bet your money Dan's going to come in here and be like, where's there water everywhere? Try to throw me under the bus. What's up, CT Firearm? Macho, make sure that's the MP3 though. They don't like it with the WAV file. Is that the MP3? Yes, thank you, Macho. That was 4 though. See, you started so soon. Macho, did you put 4 in there? Oh, sorry, I couldn't see it. My stupid screen. Thank you, Macho.
I know. No. Test pilot. Test pilot, brother.
Let's see if, what's up, Mike Thurman? Let's see if Dr. Dan says anything.
Holy shit, I'm a made man! Thank
Right?
you!
We actually had phones in the freezer moment with you.
That was the back of the fucking diner in Winter Haven meeting.
Right? I was like,
So be careful you want
Sopranos, Goodfellas style.
You guys were going to watch out and go to the house.
Okay.
I usually know.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's cool. It's a little wet.
Yeah, I know when you go.
Hey, Lummy, thanks for sending that, man.
What?
Thanks for sending that picture. I was just messing around.
What is
Oh, I know.
Someone literally gave me the
Yeah,
trombone.
Yeah, no,
Let me get that break. Hey, let me get
that.
that break to her.
Yeah, no,
I am.
you did the right thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's good.
I know you're
Blake has to
awesome.
sleep. It's his fault. I know.
and show historian, love it.
I'm just straight from the slate markings. Number 2, take 2, as Kushner describes as what he does here at the
Awesome.
and action.
Seth Money is SD co-host and president of podcasting.
That's it. That's how you want it.
I know. I mean, do I need more? Co-host.
Oh yeah, I like it. Can we play it? Can I play it?
Yes, first.
All right.
What's up, Mark?
Thanks, Macho.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm glad I could finally take care of that for you.
Hey, Lumbo.
Hello, Jay.
I'll let you in on the meeting later if you like. It wasn't a big deal. I don't want to feel you.
Start drying off your side first, huh?
Oh, it's all about Alita. See, I'm bringing it over this way.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Got milk in it?
Yep.
What's up, Thurman?
Morning, everybody.
That's what I said, Gary. I said, where's that Village People picture? And he said, I sent it to Gary. I said, well, Gary's sleeping, buddy, and I don't sleep. But you can put it up if you want to, man. Or I can take
Let
it.
me send Merch Crick that air check and then send the footer, the new footer. You know, the distribution footer.
Yes. You gonna polish your shoes? See what I'm at there?
Good, thank you.
You sure?
Yes. Just want Jay to bust his ass when he slid over. Slippery.
I don't need to bust my ass.
Not this week.
I try not to bother the professionals when it comes to podcasts. Just because they have other jobs.
What's up, OLXL? Brian Gilson, Big Longer. How's everybody doing?
Yes,
Gary
it's just
Cantrell.
sounds like the NASCAR.
Is it Lauren Boebert?
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All at the Bubba Army now returns.
Love it. I know you got some air checks to get out. One to Brian for his new list.
Yes.
Hopefully he'll contact me and see if that'll be, he'll agree to that. 2, the merch crick, so she can send that to the crappiest cemetery in the entire land. Dade City. And she's soft. I want to sick Jay on him. Write one of those J. Diaco letters saying, hey, listen, man, we need to see the original contract. If you've not given said client any notices of changing the contract, this thing's null and void. You'll be paying us. Thank you. Make that out to Diaco Law Escrow. Go ahead and get it distributed up there, buddy. Appreciate you. That's how I'm handling this. No. You people are some shady ass bastards, and that's gouging just regular people. This isn't Diacos, building a $300,000 mausoleum. This is, a very, very middle class, hardworking, family that was responsible enough to, 30 years ago, buy a niche in your crazy ass shady cemetery, and now you're gonna start knick-knacking them to $850 to open the door up.
Let me tell you something. This is really one of those things where it's kind of a common thing. They knick-knack you. Pity told me about it when Dad died, and I never imagined it. And it was like, thankfully, we were at a cemetery very well recognized and known in town. They didn't give us any crap, but the things that they could tic-tac you for.
So this is common practice among graveyards?
Not to withhold access for money and make you do double engravings and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's always a fee to get into any type of sealed area. It has to be sealed. That's why it requires some money to get in it. But if they change the terms of how much it was in the 90s to how much it is now, and the double engrave thing is absurd. That's absurd.
And think about this, man. How much $825 is in today's dollars, but how much was $825 back in '92?
Oh my God! $2,500, $3,000,
3 times what it is now, right? So if while you're signing this contract, it was $825 back then. I mean, there's no way anybody would have agreed to that. No way.
Susan Poitras says she's going through the same situation where
with her brother.
They're asking $800 to dig a small hole in the family plot.
Yeah.
Now, digging a hole is different than 4 screws.
Well, they have to seal it.
Dig a hole to put the ashes in. That's it.
Well, seal it's what, $2 a caulk?
I'm sure.
What are they sealing, Jay? It's ashes. What are they sealing? What are they sealing?
I'm just telling you. They got
rubber
seal
the
the
cup is more
bodies.
expensive. It's $4.
Gasket?
So they
need an engine gasket, Bubba.
Let's go. Who sent you a package?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Sister Girl Tees for the gold Trump coin. Thank you.
Thank you. I got one too.
Yes.
Amazing. I love it.
And this is a gentleman that I helped with COVID.
Oh, okay. Isn't it so nice, Dan? You've helped hundreds of Bubba Army in the COVID deal.
And less than 10% have said thank you.
Yeah, and Dan, while you're looking
true.
at Susan Poitras, you're in my thoughts and prayers.
And this is from Todd Allen.
Todd Allen. That's kind of me.
He's in China.
Todd Allen Clem.
Is that his chat name, Todd Allen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. From Todd Allen.
It's a baseball. It's just a genuine.
Let's see if it's signed or something.
Oh, wait a second. It's brown.
Is it gold?
Looks old.
Gold.
Is it really?
Is it a golden baseball?
Oh, it's a golden baseball.
What? Thank you. I needed one of these.
What the hell?
It's from the Trump website.
I love it. Thank you very much.
Dan's like, and now Dan is so golded out that even when he plays catch with little Danny, he can't play with the normal white rawhide. He has to have a golden baseball.
That is awesome. Thank you.
You are way over the top with your goldness, are you not?
Man, I gotta
a little bit.
I gotta see if he had that specially made, or if that's a thing you can buy.
I think it's specially made.
MLB.
It's in a regular box.
That's on automatically trying to size it up on value. He's going to offer Dan 50 cents on the dollar.
It says gold on the gold on the UPC.
What if you had that with like an Aaron Judge autograph? Is he a hot autograph right now, Seth?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an MLB authentic collector's edition baseball. I mean, this is real.
They sell them.
A Rawlings baseball. This is for real.
Man, if we could get Wanderland Franco to sign that, it'd really be in.
So what? We can do batting practice with it? I mean, It's worthless.
This is awesome.
I got to go into words, Lummy, so I can catch back up. Dan, you got to leave.
Yes, thank
Jay's
you.
got to flip over. And Lummy, we're going to come back with the Matthew, I guess the coroner's report or the autopsy or something has now officially.
Arrests have been made.
Oh yeah, this is very Conrad Murray. When you hear this, it's crazy. It's very, very Michael Jackson-esque.
And does it make and does it taint? I think it taints Matthew Perry.
Well, yeah, but
Like,
they're
if he
also
was-
the person they arrested is called the ketamine queen.
I know,
mean,
but when you're Matthew Perry and you are so
he just had demons, Bubba, 'cause-
strung out on demons that you have to, you just don't take an Ambien with maybe a little bit of a Xanny, like you're now such a junkie and that you have to have people actually administer ketamine to you.
that would be like you forcing the merch crick to do that to you, or some of your personal assistant to do that to you because you don't sleep well and the rattler's not working.
Well,
but
you know
need
what, Jay?
sleep.
You might be projecting 10 years.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Yeah, it's the same schedule. So I didn't think you needed it.
Oh,
same dates and everything.
Okay, perfect.
Just doing it.
Thank you.
No problem.
What's up, Terry? I can finally see.
Don't forget about the Lummy wrestling.
I'm going to do that next.
Yeah, you know Kenny Powers. They both
New York 7:32 in California. TMZ on breaking news now. New York 7:32 in California. TMZ.
News now.
What up, group of lips?
Reporting that multiple arrests in New York City.
My shit go.
$1,200 Rumble, 1,100 YouTube. Hit that, smash that like button, everybody. What's up? TNT 1560. What up, buddy?
What's up, YouTube? Can I get some thumbs? I got 388.
Yeah, man, what
Can
up,
I
Big
get
Longer? I know you were always there
Can I
saying to
get-
smash that like button. Let's do
Hey,
it.
Big
What up,
Bob,
Big Bob?
Gary Cantrell, Big Lunger, Kenny Piz, Steve, the Grumpy Old Man, the Guru, Brian. Go
Yeah,
ahead
man,
and-
enjoy the process,
go ahead and-
Terry. It's fun.
Go ahead and cut and paste this YouTube link to your Facebook and X, promoting your favorite show.
Cantrell, good
Give me a
morning.
motherfucking thumb in, please. Appreciate it. Thank you, Seth.
Steve
Big
Jenkins,
Dick,
good morning.
Yes. Seth Kushner, big dick. Asshole.
Guru.
Seth Kushner's an asshole. Say it.
You know, Jay Fish, there's two theories on that. I started a little later, and I'm super happy with where it is. I'm probably 8 or 10 years older than some of the parents, but I don't feel it, and it's awesome. I'm loving every second of it. I'm glad I didn't do it too early. I enjoyed my life too. What up, DDP for life? How you doing, buddy? Mike Thurman, what up? Caper Scott. How's everyone doing? Xerxes. Big Longer, you're the man. Yeah, I get that, Jay Fish. Thankfully, my children got a lot of time with Big Joe. Right back at you, there she's. Sin City Medic, what up? Live and uncut music media. We appreciate that. Highway 73, what up? That's the worst thing ever. Jimmy the Bear. No one can even go. It's bullshit. That's the kind of shit that Governor Tim Walz did. No funerals, no weddings, no nothing. They were paintballing people in their frickin' porches.
What up, Berto?
Buddy.
Remember when people refused to make gay cakes? That was like the biggest story ever.
What's up, King Power? You're like the you're very
Tim.
participate a lot in King Powers, and you know what? I appreciate you.
305 Express. How's everybody doing? Mitch.
I appreciate it.
Jeff Schwartz is my favorite band.
Look at that Bubba getting his tentacles in the chat.
I didn't really like the way Perry Farrell got during COVID. He was a little bit of a bitch, but other than that, I love the band. Jeff Fearson, good morning. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Brian Gilson, what up, buddy?
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All at the Bubba Army. Now returns.
Let me, is there a wrap-up show today?
Yes, there is.
What time? Maybe calling it a maybe
10:35.
10:35. You and Red and Colton.
Colton, but you got to do some stuff after, right?
No, I just have to cut one line.
Oh, okay.
I got like probably.
That doesn't sound so good. You got to cut a line?
Yeah, I do. Got to cut a line. Meanwhile, in life, I've never cut a line.
I know. That was just a bad soundbite.
I'm one of the very few of my friends that have never even tried cocaine. I've never even tried. Like, listen, there's probably a lot of my friends, and I'm not going to mention any names, that are very, very, very powerful, that are in very, very, very much powerful positions. And they're like, yeah, in college, I did a little bit, or I tried a little bit, to each its own. As you know, I never even did that.
Me either.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. So anyway, Lummy, I got to do a couple lines, but they're not of cocaine right after the show. Oh, by the way, Lummy, our new end of show.
Our outro.
Our new outro.
Short disclaimer, yeah.
Where did he put it?
It's pink F3.
Oh, okay.
Look at you, executive producer.
Look at this, Lummy.
Man.
We got it done. Here we go. By the way, the show's not ending. We got still like 52 more minutes, so stand by, please. This is just how fast and efficient the Macho Man is.
Thanks for letting me finish. You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian, Lummet.
I'm just straight for the slate markings. Number 2, take 2. Seth Kushner describes what he does here at the BRN, and action.
Seth Money is zesty co-host and president of podcasting.
That's it? That's how you want it?
Do I need more?
Good evening. Co-host Dr. Dan.
I like it. I like it. Seth, what say you?
I'm all for it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Lummy, here's breaking news out of California. This is kind of a Michael Jackson, Conrad Murray kind of deal, was it?
With the exception, it wasn't a doctor, but it was his personal assistant that literally he said, I think something to the effect of, give me the good one, give me a hard one, like something, a big one.
But like if you had a personal assistant and he wasn't a doctor, don't you think, Jay, like if you're the personal assistant and you're shooting up your client every night to go to bed, and that's what he wants you to do, don't you think you should have the lawyer, have the LA version of J. Diaco to draw you up some type of waiver that you and your client sign, saying that you're stating that the client is asking this guy, part of his daily ritual or part of his job is to shoot him up with a go-to-bed night cocktail? I mean...
You can't contract to break the law.
You can't?
No.
Oh.
He shot him. I mean,
that would be like, I give you a contract to kill somebody, but I had a contract. This doesn't work.
He had his assistant shoot him up like 5 or 6 times a day, and then his assistant would go get it either from the middleman or the doctors, but the doctors were the ones that were supplying it. And he was also taking ketamine therapy for depression and anxiety and all that stuff. So it looks like he decided to start getting his own
self-medicating on top of it.
He had ketamine that his doctor knew about, and then he had some street level ketamine that his doctor didn't know about.
Right.
And he's doing both. He's using the ketamine for his doctor for the therapy part, but for him to go to bed at night, he's using the street level stuff.
Well, it looks like the doctor was arrested.
All right, let's watch this story. This is Matthew Perry. Claim to fame. Matthew Perry obviously is one of the original cast members of Friends. That was his claim to fame. He went on to do some other stuff
He
as
did some
well.
movies.
7:32 in California. TMZ on breaking news now, reporting that multiple arrests in connection with the death of the actor Matthew Perry. Matt Finn is up in L.A. and has got more on what we are learning early on. Matt, good morning.
Well, Bill, man, it really kind of puts a black eye on your death when you got a big, I had to have my personal assistant shoot me up at night. Like that really makes you look like a degenerate, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, this is more really like Elvis, because if this had happened during Elvis's time, probably half a dozen people would have been arrested.
Friends superstar Matthew Perry tragically died in his hot tub here in Southern California last October. It was revealed Perry had ketamine in his system, and TMZ is now reporting its law enforcement sources say the ketamine in the actor's body was not legally prescribed, and there's been a months-long federal and state criminal investigation leading to multiple arrests, according to TMZ. Law enforcement agencies executed search warrants seizing computers, phones, and electronic equipment, all to determine who supplied Perry with that lethal ketamine. TMZ reporting Perry had been getting ketamine infusion therapy for anxiety and depression, but the last therapy was a week and a half before his death, so the ketamine in his system was not doctor prescribed. We're waiting to hear from the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Los Angeles on this breaking news. We are putting out some phone calls, and we will keep you updated throughout the day today. Bill and Dana.
Quite a development.
So I read an article on it that said the person that
New York 7:32 in California.
Okay, so that now has
the person they were getting it from illegally was known as the ketamine queen.
Right. So they're stating the ketamine in his body wasn't the medical ketamine that had been prescribed to him, and and an assistant is the one that administered it. And now how many people have been arrested on this deal?
5
or 6, yeah.
It's 5, yeah.
Well, I'm assuming his personal assistant that injected him.
He's facing like 15 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conrad Murray did what, 5?
Yeah.
And he was a doctor.
Right.
And now did what happened? Did the guy just give him either some street level non-pharmaceutical ketamine?
No, it was like 3 times what I think a person can handle
via injection.
Yeah.
He injected him with a heavy dose.
Now that's the only way Matt Perry could sleep at night.
But he wasn't trying to go to sleep. He went in his jacuzzi, and so there's also an element of if you're going to give somebody that injection, you better watch what's going on.
Right, and if you're going to give somebody, potentially that big of injection, you might have to monitor his vitals and stuff like that. I mean, if you were to ensure the fact the guy's not going to die, which I don't know that the average assistant knows how to monitor your virals.
Well, he had been doing it for a while to the point where they told the dealers that they were about to cut back because they knew that Matthew was taking way too much ketamine. So that was something they even said. So there's text messages of the doctor hitting up the assistant going, hey, I know Matt was looking to cut back, but if you want some, I'm going to be out of town, but I still have it with my assistant.
So the doctor been arrested?
Oh, yeah.
Personal assistant arrested?
Yep.
And then the
I think there's a street, then the
ketamine
dealer.
Queen arrested.
the queen of ketamine, who I'm assuming is a woman.
Yes.
In the Los Angeles
we
area.
don't know in L.A.
Well, it's
True. In LA, we don't know.
Sangria, or whatever her name is.
Right.
They said he bought so much ketamine, they tossed in free ketamine lollipops in his order.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He bought so much ketamine that they give him some BOGOs?
Yeah, that's right.
Man, Florida and our very own Anna Paulina Luna which isn't even her real name. She has been a big MAGA supporter. She beat Kevin Hazlett to be the congressperson for the Clearwater, Largo, St. Pete, Palm Harbor, Pinellas County seat. Kevin got in the game late. Had Kevin had an equal start, I think Kevin would have won, and I think Kevin would be a great congressman right now, far more than this chick. I mean, this chick...
She's done better than I ever expected.
She has.
She's done way better than I ever expected.
You are right on that.
She's gotten up to the point where she was sitting with Trump at the RNC.
I know.
And she's a first-term congressperson. It's only a 2-year term.
Just because of that, will get elected. Then once you get 4 or 6 years under your belt, then you're just locked in. You're you're always going to win because people know. And when you look like this, and news stories about your former bathing suit model shoot. This isn't even this is from 3 or 4 years ago.
It's from 2016.
Florida Rep Anna Paulina Luna speaks out after years-old footage of MAGA swimsuit goes viral. I mean, how could this be a bad thing for you?
What does she have to apologize for?
Yeah. What do I got to apologize for?
I don't think so.
For having please. It makes me, who didn't vote for her, want to vote for her.
They'd be celebrating that if I was a Democratic dude.
So you're saying
that was Bernie?
Yes, if that was a dude who identified as a woman and had a Bernie bathing suit on, they'd be like, "Yay!"
A really good-looking gay man. They'd be like, "Yeah, look how cool
They'll try
that
to
is."
sneak it in on the cover of Sports Illustrated, so the little kids don't know why their thing's moving.
I have a confession to make. Since the TikTok Democrats are onto me, I wear bikinis to the beach. And mineral sunscreen was her response back, right, Lummy?
Yeah.
And then she's saying, I am confirming that I have indeed worn swimsuits, and you can tell that I'm biologically a woman. Hashtag MAGA.
That's pretty
Actually,
good.
she's leaning into this place. She's leaning into it brilliantly for marketing purposes. It's so far, it's brilliant. All right, hold on. Is there another one, Lummy? Yes. There are better to do with your time than digging up modeling photos of me almost a decade ago.
I disagree.
The left is attempting to make this a thing, yet can't define a woman. Very low IQ behavior. Get over it. I think that she's really shoving it up their ass.
Pretty good.
And she's doing a great job. So let me, with that story, came the Lauren. So they were digging up stuff on Anna Paulina Lina, and they're like, hey, let's also not forget that Lauren Bobright.
Really?
That bitch has a full body tattoo.
I didn't know that about Lauren Bobright.
And I got to tell you something. That makes me like her even more because it shows that she's a bad girl. Right, Lummy?
Yeah, it does.
Only bad girls get those types of tattoos.
That's massive.
That's not a girl that's,
Dude, that's a 10-hour tattoo.
I know, but it makes her like it. If you wanted to, nobody could ever really know that you had a tattoo unless you went to the beach, right?
Yeah.
I mean, dresses.
Looks like she could cover it in a dress.
Anything that she could potentially wear in public,
I've never seen it before today.
In the congressional chambers, nobody would ever know. Only the people that were blasting her or went to the beach. But I think that's sexy as hell. And I don't know if the left is trying to. Are they trying to make it like, oh, look at how irresponsible she is. She's a real whore.
Again, would they ever try to shame a Democrat because they had a tattoo or they were trying to express themselves with individuality or had nose rings or earrings or whatever it is? I mean, but because she's got a tattoo now, we're supposed to dislike her.
Speaking of trying to make you look bad when you're just trying to do your own thing, I'm sure, Lummy, that we'll catch a ton of grief over the brand new show press picture. Right there. The village people.
Look at Danny.
Dan is the leather man. I'm the captain. Lummy's the construction worker. Seth is the
awesome.
Seth is the, I just did a line of cocaine before the shutter shut off of top of Dan's leather hat. Macho Man looks like a real Indian, and Red is a sailor. Lummy, if they can just fix the hat,
Yes.
we're going with that.
Perfect.
That's your. And who wouldn't want that for your morning show? Please.
Yeah, exactly. Put that on the billboard.
Yeah, put that on the billboard. When I come back, Lummy, I saw this. This is a local story, but it's, oh my God, it's horrible. This man and a woman, they're married. And I guess they have like date night, like all too often. Like, something probably you and Ashley and both Phoebe and Seth could certainly, maybe testify to, that with kids and full-time jobs and things like that, sometimes it's tough to go out just as a husband and wife for dinner, like just to have a date night.
Date night does not happen enough.
No, it doesn't.
They said they try to do it once a month.
And so this couple tries to do it once a month. This particular date night was going to go to the Hard Rock, have some drinks, have some food, then play a couple little games. I guess they like slots. Everybody knows how to play slots. You have to be completely, you have to almost be on life support not to be able to play slots. Put the money in the machine and hit the button. Yep. So there's no skill set involved. So they went out, they won a jackpot. They weren't like, Lummy, a degenerate, and said, oh my God, I just won 3,000. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can roll this into 6. No, they were responsible. And they're like, we just won 3, which pays for our dinner and our drinks and gives us about, I don't know, $2,600 to the good. Boy, that'll help us make this month's mortgage. So they go and they cash out. Well, these bad guys follow them all the way from the parking garage to their home in their neighborhood, then shoot them.
Yeah.
That's insane.
This happened right in our own backyard. I'll talk about that next.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
So much pressure that we left this city that night.
You were afraid to come to the house?
Absolutely, because I won like $1,000 in this tiny little city. I was like maybe 25 or something, and I could just feel a tension. And so Pity and I are like, let's get the fuck out of here. So we literally went to a city about an hour away. It's probably a good idea based on what I'm looking at here.
You know what you're supposed to do. It's like depending on if you're a ticket or trips or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's not like real casinos in Costa Rica. It's like, a casino in
Mexico ones, I know.
Yeah, so, they pay attention. It's such a small little room.
You go to different, I always go to different cashiers.
Yeah.
You start out, like, let's say you have 2,000 chips, cashing.
Yeah, but this has one cashier. This is a
I know, but I'm
little
saying
room.
these guys, they
Yeah.
Even in Vegas. And by the way, when you start getting a big stack, you always want to
Chip out to small chips. The big chips and fewer in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They start casing you. Next thing you know,
What up, Neil?
Slip something in your drink. That's crazy.
I wonder if Hard Rock.
Hopefully it's a nice day in St. Louis.
Pay attention to someone that's scheming on somebody and following them around. I wonder if in the parking lot they see.
Well, look at Israel. The sheriff's got him quick, but.
Just think about that over just $3,000. That's a lot of money, but it's not enough to kill somebody.
No, thank God the neighbor came out. That's the only reason I stopped him. No, but I was telling my friends that you want to make it grab to all your to one, go to multiple ones and catch them at $300.
You guys got humidity? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Then go another one, catch it. Just.
I never
I thought it was just us.
Usually, because when I usually go to the casino, it's been a long time, but when I go, I'll wear a nice watch. It's like where you go and you're gonna go.
Hey, Bubba, Scott Bloomquist died.
Yeah, I got never ever thought about. I always pay attention if I'm being cased, no matter where I am. I got my head's on 360 degrees, but I've never done it in a casino.
I asked.
Hanging on the big tables, looking.
No, it's not in the big tables. By the cashiers.
Oh.
Always hanging out there. Always people hanging out. I don't know if they're casing, but there's always people hanging out there.
That makes sense. I don't gamble a lot.
What up, DDP?
I'm incredibly lucky. So when I gamble, I win a lot. And I gamble recklessly.
Fucking shit keep going.
Like it's a fun craps table with me because I'm like betting on the shooter, I'm betting on the crew, and
You're making it.
yeah, those tables are fun. Don't you like a good craps table where it's like everyone's vocal and laughing and winning the best table?
If you guys need to see the Bobart picture, our Paluna Lana Lena, it's on our Twitter.
I was shocked at that one.
Lauren Bobart?
Actually, the other one.
Oh,
Paulina. Yeah.
Yes, I would Great White.
Elvis passed August 16, 1977. Huh, Steve? I was in Ocean City.
No, I'm not banned off Reddit. I check it out.
Yes,
when I saw
I think she's got it.
the thread about peeing outside versus peeing in here, I started to think it was probably not something that I need to read every day. But I do wash my hands, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, we like to enjoy the weather.
I don't enjoy the confines of a small bathroom when the world is my toilet. Thank you, Trevor. I didn't see enough people defending it, to be honest with you. And I felt like I committed a crime.
What's up, Sicilian Redneck? How you doing, buddy?
Someone get these pictures to Stein. We know he's not getting reception on the boat.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All at the Bubba Army now returns.
Some unbelievable breaking news for the world of dirt racing. And, for the majority of the people who listen to the show that don't know much about dirt racing, dirt racing is a major part of my life. I own a dirt track with my partner, Tom Bean. Bubba Raceway Park, Ocala Speedway. It's in Ocala. I'll be up there this weekend working on it. We got some big races next weekend, Lemmy. On Saturday is the Wiener Dog Nationals. 604 late models, open wheel modifieds, 4.6 Fords, street stocks, V8 Thunder stocks, I think maybe mod lights and more. And then the Wiener Dog Nationals, Lemmy, where I think like 15 or 20 Wiener Dogs have like a 20 or 30 yard sprint.
There's only one that matters, though.
We're only pulling for one, and that's our Girl Scout. Make sure she does a couple TTs to lighten her up a little bit right before she goes out to the deal there. Now, have you and your girlfriend worked on a little bit of a plan, like a little strategy?
Yeah.
Good. Hope she wins. I hope indeed when I come back, Lummy, Lummy, as a matter of fact, I'll be on vacation. I won't be. This is one of the very first. This is, I think, only the second race I've ever missed at Bubba Raceway Park since I've owned it.
That's insane.
Circa 2011. And I got David. Listen, for all you racers out there, don't worry about it. I got the best track prep. I got the guy that taught me how to track prep. My track prep sensei, David Markin, coming in to do the track on me. I'm going up to rough grade and get it ready for this weekend, and then he'll just be able to come in next Saturday, lay another grade on it, start watering it, packing it in, maybe sheep's foot it. But anyway, track will be perfect. But if you're in that dirt track world, so to speak, a very tragic thing just happened. Scott Bloomquist, who is considered he would be the equivalent to dirt late models as to what Tom Brady is regarded as a quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
He is the Tom Brady of dirt late models. He's the absolute, bar none, greatest of all time. His name's Scott Bloomquist, lives in Kentucky. He's won more crown jewel. He's won he's the greatest of all time. Like it might not even be like, I don't even know if there's a close second. I know Scott well. Let me now that Scott has passed. Scott lost his life, I think maybe this morning or yesterday. He had his own little. He was an amateur pilot, Lummy, with regards to he would build his own airplanes, like that kind of guy.
Yeah. It happened a few hours ago.
Just happened a few hours ago.
Wow.
So he got up this morning, Rhett, probably decided, and he had a pretty big property, and he had his own grass landing strip. So a lot of times he would just go up, buzz around his property, go a little bit, here and there, and then always just land back at his grass airstrip. I don't know what kind of plane he has. But I think it was like one of those Piper Cubs. Lummy, they're very big and they're very forgiving and they only go like 85 miles an hour. They only have to be like 20 knots to get them off the ground. They got these big balloon tires on them. They're quite. I'm not saying they're quite simple to fly, but they're what beginners or people like that would be. And I do not know what type of aircraft Scott had. But the headlines are dirt track racing icon Scott Bloomquist killed in a plane crash near his Mooresburg, and that's Mooresburg, Kentucky, home. So, this is, oh my God, for dirt track, authorities have confirmed the race car driver Scott Bloomquist has been killed in a small aircraft crash near his home in the Mooresville community of Hawkins County. What were you going to say, Red? I'm sorry.
He was flying a small 2-seat Piper Cub.
Yeah, exactly what I said. You know who's got one of those, Lummy? Got Cletus McFarland.
Oh, really?
Cletus McFarland has one of those.
Oh.
It's already on Scott Bloomquist's wiki page too. Bloomquist was killed August 16th, 2024, so that's today, while flying his personal vintage airplane at his home in Mooresburg in Hawkins County. Oh, it's Tennessee. I thought it was Kentucky. It's Tennessee. So he lives in Mooresburg, Tennessee. Lummy, the greatest of all time, and I have the greatest picture of him. It was last year. He was coming to Bubba Raceway Park to race the Lucas late model deal, and it was like 2 a.m. and all the drivers were coming because they had just raced in New Brunswick, Georgia that night, and a lot of guys, if the track's only 3 or 4 hours before they have to be the next day, they'll just pull up that night and roll to the next city that night. They'd prefer to wake up where they're going to be than wake up and have to drive 3 or 4 hours.
Makes sense.
So Scott and his crew drove, and me and Larry, we were at the pit gate because we have to. Tom Bean's just not going to let these guys pull in here for nothing. You got to charge them, right?
Of course you do.
So if you're going to get so me and Larry Plummer, it's 3:30 at night, and it's me, Larry Plummer, and Bella, and we're working the pit window. Next thing you know, Scott Bloomquist sticks his head in the pit window and be like, "Hey fellas, I'm pulling my rig in here. I need to buy 8 pit passes." And Bella starts licking him all over his face and stuff. And I got a picture of Bella licking Scott Bloomquist's face.
Nice.
God dang it. That is absolutely just devastating. Maybe not for Seth. Maybe not for Jay.
I mean, he wasn't planning on, and this is not being disrespectful, but he wasn't planning on coming to your track this weekend, was he?
No, not this weekend, but he was going to be, when we have the Lucas February Winter Nationals.
Yes.
And we used to do them for 2 nights. Yeah. Now we're going to do them for 6.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we got 6 nights of Lucas and 5 nights or 6 nights of USAC. 2 weeks back. I might have to take 2 weeks off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Do we do best ofs? I think we have to because I can't trust Dan and Brian See, I could very much trust Jay. Like if I was gonna be here, I'd say, Seth, I need you to step up and kind of host. Okay, keep things moving. Lummy, I need you to step it up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And Jay, you know what not to say and what to say, and I know you won't say anything stupid that could potentially get us in trouble.
I'm not even going to tell you what to say, Jay, because you know what not to say.
Okay. Yep.
But I don't think
you
I
run
can.
the board, Sethy, and I'll help hold the fort down
right,
with Lummy.
You just fill in with the stories and your knowledge. That's it. Seth will throw you some curveballs. Everything will be okay. I really wouldn't be nervous if it was that the dynamic was that. But figure in the Brian and Dan factor
at the same time.
And the teacher, the teacher's gone, and you got a substitute teacher. These two are going to be running rapid.
The Babyface and Dan show.
Though they would completely try to take over, and then Seth would be a little bit get anxiety that he shouldn't back down. Like Seth should be in there backing Dan down, but Seth has anxiety over that. Lummy's scared to do it too.
I just turned off Brian's mic.
So I'm going to have to talk to you about what we do during those when I have those two sanctioning bodies in town. But anyway, for those listening, just tuning in, Scott Bloomquist, Dirt Late Model, Black Sunshine, the Team Zero racing team, and Scott had kind of fallen on some hard times lately. He really had. Lummy was, used to have a big rig and a full team and, 2 backup cars with 4 motors and 100 tires and 56 shock combinations and, 5 backup rear ends and 3 extra transmissions and, all just like, the big guys, the Bobby Pierces, the Hudson O'Neills, the Tim McCready, which, by the way, I have a Tim McCready shirt on today. The Devin Morans, the Tyler Erbs, the Superman number 49, of course, Jonathan Davenport. All the big boys, they have that, Lummy. Literally in their hauler, they have 2 race cars, one of a primary and a backup. They got 4 to 5 extra motors, each motor $75,000. They got 3 or 4 extra rear ends. They got, 30 different shock packages and 60 to 70 pre-treated, pre-prepped, pre-grooved, pre-siped, wrapped tires ready to go. And, I think they say it takes $1 million a year to be able to be on the World of Outlaws or the Lucas Late Model Series circus. It's a circuit between tires and hauler fuel and pit passes and food and lodging and just everything, Lummy. It's $50 a lap on your motor. So anytime your car goes out there, and even if it's hot laps or just practicing or qualifying, you might as well put it $50 per lap in a fund, because that's how much it costs to rebuild and refresh. You have to refresh your motors after every 1,200 laps. So, Jay, after every 1,200 laps, they have to send back to their motor builder and go through like a $10,000 freshen up period so that it won't blow up.
That's what Kirk's garage looks like right now. Kirk Morgan.
Yeah,
he has a team
got
with
that very same. He has that very same template, but with sprint cars. So he'll have 4 extra motors, and then he knows how many laps are on each one of those motors, and he's always got 1 motor at the rebuild.
Multiple chassis. Wings all over the place. Shocks all over the place. Brakes and tires. It's unbelievable.
Wheels already pre-mounted.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Stacker.
Loader. When Kurt goes to a show, he'll have a complete sprint car and then 2 rollers up top that all you need to do is put a wing and some wheels on, and they're ready to go.
At least 1, probably 2. I know that in his garage, he's got at least 2 or 3 extra chassis hanging in the roof.
Is that new guy doing good for him?
Number 1 in the nation, won more races than anybody, Davey Hamilton.
Yeah, he's from Indiana.
Yeah. He's one of the an old Indy guy's son.
His dad,
Dennis Hamilton or something.
I think the guy that's driving from Morgan is a junior, and I think his dad's the senior.
He's been amazing.
Anyway, rest in peace, my friend. Oh my God, so tragic.
Yeah, it's tragic.
Scott Bloomquist. Man, I got to get a hold of Candy. We're going to have to do something at the track next weekend, Lummy, to honor the great the Black Sunshine, Scotty Bloomquist.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, my friend. Don't get in any of those experimental airplane kind of deals.
That's what happened to Roy Halladay.
Yeah. Wasn't he on pills though?
Yeah, but
we're all on pills. So Lummy, this couple, they won $3,000 to Hard Rock, and the bad guys followed them back. And watch, I mean, look how traumatic this is.
Terrifying moments when a couple was ambushed in their own driveway, both of them shot by masked men demanding money. The chilling doorbell video capturing Val de la Cruz, who was shot in both legs, pleading with the suspect, standing over him with 2 guns. One of them covers the camera. A neighbor came outside, and the men ran back to the car and drove away.
I can't even sleep.
De la Cruz is in unbearable pain. Unable to walk, doctors say it could be 6 months. And his girlfriend, Kim Chambliss, was shot in her calf. The couple says Thursday, August 1st, started off as their monthly date night.
We don't get to do it often just because we both work extremely hard.
The couple capped off the night at the Hard Rock Casino. Val joked he needed to win money back from dinner and drinks.
Yeah, because dinner and drinks at the Hard Rock, it might as well be at Charlie's. It's going to cost so much.
Exactly. I mean,
you're a 3-4 hundy for dinner and a few drinks.
I got a jackpot.
You and Cando go out and have a nice dinner and some wine and drinks, DJ. It's $350 all day.
At the casino all day.
Easy. And I was dancing.
Not once to press their luck, the couple cashed out with about $3,000 and drove home to Riverview.
Kudos to them.
Investigators say these 2 men, Marcus Jenkins and Tristan Wright, were watching them.
Now let me.
Terrifying moment.
Can you send me there's better footage of the shootout? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Can you send that to me?
Yes.
Are you aware, Bubba, when you drive home, if anyone's behind you? Like I am hyper aware. I don't care if I'm coming home from work or if I'm coming home late at night. If someone's behind me, I don't turn into my driveway ever. I'll drive by it.
As I get closer to my apartment, then that kind of starts peeling away if anybody's following me or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if I pull in, like I'm going to pull into the parking lot of my apartment and there's a guy, that I feel has been following me, I'll keep going.
Me too.
And I'll make a left and I'll make a right. Then I'll go over by the dollhouse and then I'll
see if he's following you.
Then I'll come over here by the studios. And if he's still on me, then that bitch is really following me.
Right.
Did you send it, Lummy?
No, I'm trying to find the full version of it.
All right.
A lot of it's that 1 minute one, so I'm trying to find better.
Let me go. How about we go into words and we come back with that, okay?
Perfect.
All right, cool.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Worst routine I've ever seen. So funny.
Hey, Bubba, did you get my text?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Thank you. I'm going to listen to it. I'll give you something.
Thank you.
Have you seen any of those, Seth? Where people are like mimicking Ray Gun? Where they're doing the same routine she is?
Yeah, I felt after I saw this yesterday, I felt bad for her.
Well,
she
put
said
herself out there.
But I mean, she said she's was serious and she tried really hard. I mean, I don't know, man. They might have scammed their way in. I don't know, but
That's not even what I'm saying. I just feel like the
spoofs and stuff.
They're hilarious. The category itself is kind of a joke anyway. I mean, I watched the finals, the gold match finals, and it was like, it might as well have been Zoolander walk-off, but it was a dance-off. I just found the whole thing was stupid.
Yeah, there was nothing really interesting about it.
I mean, those guys did crazy moves, but it wasn't like a sport.
Well, they fucking canned it.
Thank God it was the first and last.
Ray Gun is in Steve Bartman territory. She's got to go into hiding.
I know, that part I don't like. I just think that the whole thing was so fucking funny. Her little kangaroo jump.
I know.
There's one on YouTube that made me, I was crying. I was laughing so hard. Because it was someone that actually was doing the exact same routine she was at the same time. And it's just...
I saw a video of her explaining herself, and then she's like, "This is why I did my kangaroo dance," and I thought it was her, but it was somebody doing a parody of her. So I mean, it's There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's some videos where I guess if you're like doing it in front of the TV screen, it's not gonna. For some reason, they're not copywriting it because you can't find any video of it. They're protecting it.
Yeah.
On YouTube. But you'll see someone doing the identical break routine in front of their television, and it's just hilarious. I literally cried out loud.
That's crazy if they got rid of wrestling for breakdancing.
Is that what it was?
That's what Cameron said in YouTube. I don't know. I know they're doing. I mean, I don't know if they can only do a certain amount of sports. Because flag football's next year.
Really?
Yeah, they're doing flag football.
That'll be interesting.
I know Kaepernick's trying to play.
For Team USA?
Good
luck with that.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
You may have to stand for the national anthem, buddy.
He did say he's trying to play for flag football, but he didn't say who he's representing. He might be on the refugee team. Take me as I am. What up, Chris? I didn't know the French were into breakdancing.
I didn't know anyone was.
The Asians are.
Yeah, I don't know if it's happening in anywhere.
The Asians are big into it.
The Asians?
Yeah, that's why Japan got second, Canada got first, but he was an Asian man.
Why? Because they're more aerodynamic?
Yes.
They're small? I mean, like...
It's fucking full video.
I mean, I don't really want to balance on my head, to be honest with you. I mean, let's just have a dance off.
You're absolutely right, Michael McGinnis.
Pants off, dance off.
What a perm drum. Now that would be funny, a Dan Bryan dance off. A break dance off.
Same here, Big E. That's why the Asians are good at it, I guess. And Canadians.
Army 25.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, all at the Bubba Army, now returns.
Lummy, not one to miss an opportunity to be able to pay homage to one of the all-time greats, but on my show Facebook page, which is at the Bubba Army, I'll probably also be posting it on my personal page. I don't know if Sethi can put it on Insta or not, but
yeah, it's there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Cantrell put it up.
He didn't have this picture.
Sorry. I thought I'm sorry. I was thinking about the YMCA, the village people.
If you look at my Facebook, it says R.I.P. to one of the greatest, Scott Bloomquist Racing. This is him at Bubba Raceway Park signing in with my dog Bella, giving him kisses. So look, he'd been driving all night from Brunswick, Georgia to my place, about a 4 hour drive after racing. And then he's signing in, he's signing his rig in and stuff, and Bella wants to give him kisses.
That's cool.
And then, of course, my best friend in the whole wide world, Larry Plummer. We look like some dirt tracking guys there, don't we?
Yeah.
That's straight dirt tracking. Pitbull, the greatest of all time, getting kissed. Me as the owner, and Larry as my backup. R.I.P. Scott Bloomquist. But so... Seth, can we get that up?
Yeah.
Do I need to send that picture to you?
No, we can grab it.
Okay. You got all kinds of capabilities, don't you?
Oh, God. Screenshot Willie.
Please. So, man. So, you guys, Seth, you said that you're starting to feel sorry for the Australian breakdancer chick.
Yeah.
The girl that completely ruined breakdancing for got it. Fish on the J, Lummy, $25. Thank you.
Vegas Bubba Army, 25.
He said he's fishing for that one bass tomorrow. Now, Lummy, we got to catch the right bass. We can't catch this big monstrous.
No, that's why he hasn't got it. He tried last weekend, but he was only catching over 3 pounds. We need like a 1 to 2 pounder.
Hi, everyone.
This is the Australian breakdancing bitch that made an ass out of herself that everybody's trying, I guess, now feeling sorry for.
Well, I am. I don't think nobody else is, Bubba. Just me.
Right down here.
I think she's a total whack job, and I hate her.
I just want to start by thanking all the people who have supported me. I really appreciate the positivity, and I'm glad I was able to bring some joy into your lives. That's what I hoped. I didn't realize that would also open the door to so much hate, which has frankly been pretty devastating. Well, I went out there and I had fun. I did take it very seriously.
It doesn't
I
look
worked
like
my
it.
butt off.
Doesn't look like it.
Preparing for the Olympics, and I gave my all, truly. I'm honoured to have been a part of the Australian Olympic team and to be part of breaking's Olympic debut. What the other athletes have achieved has just been phenomenal. In regards to the allegations and misinformation floating around, I'd like to ask everyone to please refer to the recent statement made by the AOC, as well as the posts on the Ozbreaking Instagram page, as well as the WDSF Breaking for Gold page. Bit of a fun fact for you. There are actually no points in breaking. If you want to see how the judges thought I compared to my opponents, you can actually see the comparison percentages across the 5 criteria on Olympics.com.
Because everybody said she got a 0.
Did she get a 0?
I'm going to be in Europe for a few weeks for some pre-planned downtime.
She didn't get a 0?
No, I guess she said there's no scores or something. Isn't that?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Further validating that it's not a sport.
But I'd really like to ask.
By the way, it is confirmed that her husband, she did somehow get her husband in some shady type deal to be the head judge to determine who went and represented Australia. Has that not been confirmed that she did indeed do that?
I don't know. She said refer to the statements, but I never did refer to the statements. But yeah. I'm assuming that's one of the rumors that's been going around.
The press to please stop harassing my family.
When you act like the way you did, and everybody else that was in the breakdancing deal actually did do breakdancing.
Oh, forget. You know what? We're all worried about the break community. We didn't even know the break community existed until 2 weeks. Now we're so concerned about the break community and the hard workers out there spinning on their head. She put breaking on the map.
Kushner, guess what? Great point.
Thank you.
For real.
So it looks like she didn't. There was the voting for the score. She didn't get any votes from any of the judges.
My friends, the Australian breaking community, and the broader street dance community. Everyone has been through a lot as a result of this, so I ask.
As a result of your stupidity, everybody's been through a lot. You've created your own. You've created your own problem. Get the hell out of here.
She was serious though.
Yeah. Let me. You know, I'm serious about.
That's the problem.
I'm serious about maybe ending the show like a little bit early today.
Why not?
Yeah.
We got a new show disclosure or whatever.
That's right. We do it. It's a little bit longer than it used to be.
Yes, it is.
So guess what? There'll be a weekend. Is it a weekend review with you and Red about maybe 11:45?
Yeah, weekly wrap-up show.
10:45.
I was going to go 10:35, but I'll go 10:45.
No, make it 10:35.
All right, sounds good.
I'm going to lay down a few liners, a few non-cocaine lines for Macho Man, and then go sit in my chair.
Perfect.
We go with that?
Yes, sir.
JD Ocko, appreciate you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
We will see. Lummy will see you in about 35, 40 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for letting me finish. You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
Me, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Co-host and show historian, Lummit.
I'm just straight for the slate markings. Number 2, take 2. Seth Kushner describes his what he does here at the BRN and action.
Seth Money is zesty co-host and president of podcasting.
That's it? So that's how you want it?
Do I need more?
Good evening. Co-host Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council.
Co-host J. Diaco Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Rhett, the filthy ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello. I'm back.